Or from Maharashtra, the exit poll numbers, and here we will get you the mega poll of polls in the battle for the states. Nalin Mehta, Rashid Kitwai had not spoken. Daniel Francis was with us. No, I hope he's there with us. We'll get their thoughts as polling comes to a close. Nikul Patel, leader of the Congress party, also with us. Is this the Congress's election to lose, or the MVA's election to lose, Nalin, given what happened in June 2024 in Maharashtra?
So I think a fair bit of water has flown under the bridge in the last 3 months. We saw that in Haryana. We're seeing signs of that in Maharashtra. Having said that, this, as I've been saying in the afternoon as well, this is a post-ideological election in Maharashtra. There is no very little ideology, even though we're talking about batenge to katenge, and there's a whole ideological veneer of Hindutva versus others in the election campaign. But on all sides, I mean, whether you see Uddhav Thackeray appealing to the Muslim vote and benefiting from the Muslim vote in 3 months ago, or Ajit Pawar saying, I don't want Modi campaigning in my direction. You don't know who will change sides when, right? So that's one. However, I think the second thing to say about this election is that the national importance of this election can't be understated. Because Haryana sort of arrested the Congress's momentum after the Lok Sabha election and allowed the BJP to recover a lot of lost ground. So Maharashtra's importance is even much more at national politics, and also it's one of India's richest states and industrialized states. So this is extremely important. The third point I want to make is that the BJP has taken certain measures in the last 3 months. Those include building a non-Maratha OBC coalition while having totem pole Marathi leaders. It includes changes to the creamy layer limit from 8 lakh to 15 lakh and the Ladki Bahan Yojana, which is really been about the Mahila vote. So we are seeing a very close contest, and cephalogically it is almost impossible to call an election like this. There's no psychological model to predict an election like this.
Now here's what will happen. If the Mahayuti swings it or wins Maharashtra and the BJP wins in Jharkhand, then Maharashtra se lekar Odisha tak, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar and Odisha, 70% of Bharat's population, the BJP will claim that desh ke dil mein Modi hai, desh ke dil mein BJP hai. But if the Congress swings back, or MVA wins Maharashtra, MVA wins Jharkhand, then they'll say Haryana was an aberration. Daniel Francis, why are the voters not coming out in large numbers? Or do you believe 55% in Mumbai, overall 65% in Maharashtra are numbers that you will take? And both sides will be happy with such numbers.
Hi, thank you very much. Let me begin with a good news. The good news is that Maharashtra's Gadchiroli, which is a Naxal-affected area, Naxal-affected district, has the best voting percentage, over 70% of voting percentage. This is also the first time in 75 years that Maharashtra had a single-phase election. Single-phase election. Normally, in the last 30-40 years, it was not single-phase because of management, as well as the Naxal-affected Vidarbha would be treated separately. But this time around, it was the last few years, the work done on Naxals in Maharashtra, the almost eradication of Naxals. Many Naxal-affected districts are completely liberated, and those people living in
So how do you explain Kolaba 41%, Gadchiroli 70%?
Kolaba 41%, Gadchiroli 70%. I'll tell you one thing. Most importantly, this election was not the election for change. If you see the election for change, you see the numbers really rising. Voter apathy, urban apathy, that kind of apathy, I fully agree with. But there is absolutely no...
There are 2 polls have come in.
The kind of energy that we saw in Lok Sabha, and I'm saying this responsibly, the energy that we saw in Lok Sabha, the 400 par kind of energy that we saw in Lok Sabha, that has completely collapsed. I can put my neck out and say that women have, come out in large numbers, voted with the Mahayuti, and also Dalit and Muslim women marginally shifting, and no energy in the Dalit Muslim, bloc.
Right.
To vote against Mahayuti.
Okay, as we speak, Rashid Kitwai, you will take it from after we put out the first numbers. The PMark numbers have come in, exit poll, PMark numbers have come in. The poll of polls gets underway with the first set of exit poll numbers. The NDA or the Mahayuti, 137 to 157. INDI alliance 126 to 146. So there is a 11-seat difference at the higher end or at the lower end between the two. But this election is being given to the Mahayuti by PMARC. That's what it looks like. Rashid Kidwai, again, dead heat situation somewhere. You think ये जून वाला ही माहौल है dead heat वाला, because this could also become dead heat.
Yeah, but I think as long as BJP is ahead, I think they will be very safe, because although the kind of politics we have seen in Maharashtra in the last 5 years, as long as BJP is number one party, then they will, they will always be in a position to form a government, because there are many smaller parties who are willing to negotiate. Remember, in 2019 also there would have been a BJP Shiv Sena government had there not been a tussle over the post of chief minister. If the chief minister post is offered this time also, I think not one but two political parties will come around.
Do we have a disaggregated number here? Do we know exactly who's?
I think those numbers will come in. As of now, we've just got the first.
What is very interesting about this one? Just look closely. The others are not seeming to have much of an impact as far as seat conversion is concerned.
Correct.
Now, this is a little different from what we saw in the 2019 election, where there were quite a significant number of others.
29
but
independents
in Lok Sabha, again, the others sort of did not have many numbers.
But that's exactly what Zaka was saying.
So
that
I
this
just
time
hope
around,
we're not underestimating the role of the others here.
No, that's exactly what Zaka was also saying, that this time around they will decide. It will be decisive. There won't be votes for others. It will be this way or that way.
Even though there are 6 parties instead of 4, the choice before the voter is one of 2. Right. It's quite a binary choice. So it has to be either MVA or has to be Mahayuti.
I think we've got Pankaja Munde with us. Pankaja ji, namaste. The numbers are just coming through. The overall voter turnout is settling in. What's the situation on ground? What's your understanding?
Frankly, I've been traveling all over the state. I've been campaigning for a lot of assemblies. For me, I'm very, very sure the response we got while campaigning also, we are very sure that we will win with proper margin. We will get... can you hear me? Because
yes, I can. Yeah, I know you're on the move, but we can hear you. We can hear you. No, compared to June, then May, June and abhi November, क्या फर्क पड़ा है? Is there a change in the situation on ground, and how has it changed? Because I know you got very emotional with what happened in your own constituency with the results at that time, and I was following it very carefully. But is there a shift? Is there a change in the mood on ground, and how?
Yeah, of course there is a change in the mood on the ground, because I got emotional not because of the election results. I got emotional because of the suicides happened after my election result was declared. So I was very worried about the reaction from people, and they were very disheartened. But now what I am seeing here, the fake narrative created in the parliamentary election is totally minimized. Like, there is no basically presence of fake narrative. So people are understanding this kind of campaigning is done to gain votes, and they are now focusing on the development issues and what the schemes we have as a government from Maharashtra government and central government, we have delivered. So we only totally focused on that. And we are getting very, very good response.
Just getting our thoughts on the two exit pollsters who have come in so far, PMARC and Matriz.
Sure.
Both PMARC is giving about 137 to 157 to the Mahayuti. Matriz is given anywhere between 150 to 170. That's the gap for Matriz. So two people who are saying that somewhere it is the Mahayuti that is coming in, perhaps comfortably around 150 is the number, 154 is the median. Will you take this number, or do you believe otherwise?
Yeah, nothing lesser than this. Nothing lesser than this. We will take, I'm very sure we'll get clean majority. We'll get Bahumat Sarkar.
Ms. Munde, all of this, of course, depends on how the BJP bounces back in Vidarbha. What are the conditions on the ground there for a resurgence of the BJP in both these areas, Vidarbha and Marathwada, where they didn't do so well about 5 months ago?
Yeah, there are two totally different conditions.
Yeah.
As I said, the narrative in parliamentary election was totally different. the fight was totally different. It was very emotional fight for Maratha community, and they were driven totally. It was totally a spirit was created in Marathwada. And Vidarbha, I'm saying because Vidarbha we always been winning large number of seats. So basically maintaining the number is always again a different case altogether. So I'm sure we will not get lesser than what we had before. Rather, we'll win.
आपका वोटर निकल के आया है पंकजा जी?
In Parliament, we had it was a unique situation in Marathwada. So in this election, what numbers you are seeing are also accumulating numbers of victory from Marathwada. So we are going to perform better than parliamentary elections.
You believe your voter has come out this time around, the Mahayuti voter?
Yeah. Our Mahayuti voter was little bit deviated. As I said, there was a unique situation and a spirit was created, which we did not see that kind of impact in this election. We definitely will regain the voters in the assembly election. And one more thing was different than parliamentary election. In parliamentary election, the fights were mostly straight fights. But here, these were 4, 5 members, 5 stalwart leaders are standing. Some of them have taken different. So the margin of vote will be different. There will not be very large margins. You know, when in the victory, you will not see very large margins. And like my constituency, which is now my brother fought.
Right.
There only 2 people were fighting, one Mahaviti and Mahavikas Aghadi. There you see a huge margin. I think we will be one of the largest margin winning seats. But some constituencies there are 4, 5 people standing, and they are not like they are. All of them are quite strong leaders.
Right.
So we will see less margins also.
Right. All the best to everyone. Pankaja ji, thank you for your time. I know you have been traveling through the day and you're joining us while mobile. But thank you very much for speaking with us. Thank you. Now, Zaka, weigh in on the numbers. 1% vote share difference is what's coming on. 2 pollsters have come in. Both are giving Mahayuti the edge. Matriz by a fair margin. Not sure whether the Congress or the MVA will accept these numbers. Rashid Kidwai, weigh in on that once. Zaka,
but I think the 1%
opines.
difference, we saw that in the Lok Sabha as well. The difference actually between the 2 alliances was about 1% or so. But the division in seats, it was 31 seats to MVA and 17 seats to the Mahayuti. This time again, it's 1% difference. So basically what the NDA has managed to do is to claw back 2% from what we saw in the Lok Sabha. And that 2% is a lot because remember, unlike Sharad Pawar's NCP, the BJP's vote is spread across multiple regions. BJP is active in Vidarbha, it's active in Marathwada, it's active in Mumbai, in Konkan, in northern Maharashtra, the Khanbad areas that Rahul Shivshankar keeps talking about. So a 2% then would be spread across the state. So they've clawed back 2% of the vote from what we saw in the Lok Sabha. That's why we are seeing this kind of number. We've seen, like I said, it's still early days yet, 2 polls out, both of them giving a fairly decisive edge to the Mahayuti, substantially higher than the 144.
If this number holds, Zach, I'm just looking at some of the 2024
leads.
Lok Sabha leads, right? So if you go by that, it's 168, I think, for the MVA. Now that number seems to have reversed.
Yeah.
If you go by this,
if you go by the
NDA seems to be getting that number.
2024 leads.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look at the BJP alliance's leads, the
please
Sena
just
leads,
look at that.
and the NCP leads. They would have ended up with 124.
Yes.
This is BJP plus NCP Ajit Pawar
Yeah.
plus Shinde Sena would have ended up with 124. The BJP would have got 83 out of those 124. Now, if you were to go by that same set of leads for the Congress, for the Sena UBT, here we go, Sena UBT and the NCP Sharad Pawar, they would have ended up with 154. So you're right, it's almost become the
it's like
inverse.
reversed. It's like reversed. Yes, Rashid.
Here is a question. You see, Mr. Modi was on a big ticket. Election takes place in Maharashtra, and as you're saying, the the BJP alliance, India alliance performed badly. What has changed in these many months that when Mr. Modi is not a big ticket, when there is a kind of fragmented leadership, between Eknath Shinde and
But sir,
Devendra
Modi is the
Fadnavis and all.
message.
No, yeah,
This
Modi is
time
a
Modi is
message,
the message.
when he is on a big ticket, when
No,
he
but
is
he's the
himself,
message
when he is
this time.
seeking vote for himself, he doesn't get it. When he is seeking for someone else, he gets it. What kind of logic is this?
No, 1 second. Modi this time was the message. He made himself the message. The message is एक है
तो safe है, एक है तो safe है. No, Rashid Kidwai is not taking these numbers. You believe this
Rahul
numbers?
Gandhi also made Modi the issue by opening the safe.
What do you think the Congress's number will be or the
So I
MVS
think,
number
yeah,
will be?
this thing is a totally this thing. I think the Congress, MVA, those who are in Delhi, they expect, their figure is about 170, 171 seats. And they also believe that unless there is a kind of decisive, difference between the two alliances, government formation would not be easy. If these numbers hold true on 23rd, then obviously we have Mahayuti, government back in power.
Mahayuti government coming through. Okay, we've got the matriz numbers for Jharkhand. So let's quickly look at Jharkhand. We've not spoken much about Jharkhand, but it looks like a runaway victory or a convincing victory for the Mahayuti. For 81 seats, 41 is the halfway mark, 42 to 47 seats is what is being given to the NDA or the BJP. So the NDA coming to power in Jharkhand looks certain. As per the matriz exit polls are concerned, the INDI alliance is only 30, 47 seats to the NDA. Led by the BJP there. Arjun Munda, the former Chief Minister of Jharkhand, is with us. Arjun Munda ji, namaste. मैं आनंद बोल रहा हूँ. धन्यवाद. ये
बोलिए.
मट्रीज का पोल जो एग्जिट पोल है कह रहा है कि करीब 42 से 47 सीट आएगी, सरकार बीजेपी के पास आएगी. आप ये नंबर से संतुष्ट हैं? रिकॉर्ड वोटर टर्नआउट हुआ है झारखंड में.
बिल्कुल, इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में पूरे राज्य के मतदाता हैं और अच्छी बढ़त के साथ पूर्ण बहुमत से सरकार भारतीय जनता पार्टी बनाएगी. जनता ने ऐसा जनादेश दिया है, ऐसा मैं मानता हूँ.
हेमंत सोरेन जी ने अभी पोस्ट किया है एक्स पर कि रिकॉर्ड टर्नआउट हुआ है, जय झारखंड, झारखंड ही जीतेगा. वो काफी कॉन्फिडेंट है कि जेएमएम की जीत होगी.
देखिए, जनादेश जनता देती है और जनता पर हमें विश्वास है और जनता ने जिस तरीके से अपने उत्साह झारखंड में दिखाया है उससे मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि पिछले 5 साल में जो राज्य की दुर्दशा हुई है और राज्य में नीति का अभाव रहा है और बड़े मात्रा में लोगों को नाराज़ करने की कोशिश हुई है, उसका परिणाम निश्चित रूप से सरकार के विरुद्ध में होगा और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में होगा.
पहले की 43 सीट फेज 1 में उसमें परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी है. आज की तो 38 सीटों का समीकरण आप थोड़ी देर में करेंगे, लेकिन पहले की जो 43 सीट है उसमें परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी है. आपको क्या लग रहा है कितना आकर रुकेगा नंबर?
मैं देखिए, मैं मानता हूं कि जो फर्स्ट फेज के इलेक्शन हुए हैं उसमें ही इस बात को जनता ने तय कर दिया है कि इस समय झारखंड में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ही है जो राज्य की जनता को सुरक्षा भी देगी, विकासात्मक कार्य योजना से भी जोड़ेगी और नीतिगत जो वहाँ के स्थानीय लोगों के, वहाँ के ग्रामीणों के, वहाँ के जनजातीय समाज, आदिवासी समाज के उन समस्याओं का समाधान करने में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ही स्पष्ट नीति के साथ कार्य कर सकती है.
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि पहले फेज में ही तय हो गया था? जी,
लोगों ने महसूस किया है.
जी,
लेकिन अर्जुन मुंडा जी ये बताइए,
उसी में एक रास्ता तय कर लिया गया.
उस तरफ जो आर्ग्यूमेंट था, सुरेन साहब कह रहे थे कि देखो उस टाइम जब वो अरेस्ट हुए थे, देश में इकलौता शायद ट्राइबल मुख्यमंत्री थे, उनको आपने गलत केस में, फॉल्स केस में 5-6 महीने अंदर रखे. तो उनका मानना ये था कि ये ट्राइबल वर्सेस नॉन ट्राइबल होगा इस बार झारखंड का चुनाव.
देखिए, ऐसा है, वो अपने कारनामे को छुपा करके या उनके मंत्रिमंडल के सहयोगी या उनके दल के लोगों के जो कारनामे हैं या वैसे सहयोगियों के जो कारनामे, वो तो सतह पर आ चुकी है कि भारी संख्या में लोगों के बीच से नकदी बरामद हो रही है और साथ ही साथ ये बताने में विफल हो रहे हैं कि इतनी राशि आई कहाँ से, इतना पैसा आया कहाँ से. करोड़ों करोड़ की राशि एक जगह से यदि बरामद होती है तो इसका क्या मतलब है? इस पर पहले जवाब देना चाहिए, बजाय इसके कि मुझे अनावश्यक ढंग से जेल में
नहीं, तो
डाल
आप
दिया
कह रहे
गया
हैं
या
कि
भेज
वो
दिया गया, ये अनावश्यक नहीं है।
राजनीति
जमीन के
राजनीति
घोटाले
उनको
के
नहीं करनी चाहिए।
प्रूव्ड है।
मुंडा जी, मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं कि आपने कहा कि फर्स्ट फेज में ही तय हो गया था, तो आपको थोड़ा अनुमान होगा कि बीजेपी ने कितने सीटें हासिल की हैं फर्स्ट फेज में? आप कुछ उस पर बता सकते हैं हमारे को?
देखिए, ये तो आपके लोग ही बेहतर बताएंगे और
नहीं,
आप
हम
ही
कैसे
बता रहे
बताएंगे?
हैं।
हम
और
तो सभी
हमें
गलत
जनता पर
बताते हैं
विश्वास
आजकल।
है क्योंकि
आप सच्ची में तो
नहीं,
आप ही
इसके
बता
साथ साथ
पाओगे,
भी और
क्योंकि
भी लोगों पर हमें विश्वास है। और जैसे जैसे जितने फर्स्ट फेज में इलेक्शन हुए उसमें ही हम लोगों ने बढ़त बना ली थी।
तो पर अर्जुन मुंडा जी, मैं आपसे
उसमें
जानना
ही
चाहता
हमारी बढ़त है।
तो
और बढ़त बनाने के वजह से
जी
सेकंड फेज में भी उसी तरह की स्थिति हुई है।
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि योगी आदित्यनाथ का जो संदेश था जनता को, स्पेशली ट्राइबल जनता को, आदिवासी जनता को, वो उन्होंने कबूल कर लिया है, आप ये कह रहे हैं?
देखिए, मैं आपको यह स्पष्ट बता दूं कि एक मुद्दा ही नहीं बल्कि एक संवेदनशील विषय जो घुसपैठिए के मामले हैं
जी,
राज्य सरकार ने हमेशा इस बात को नज़रअंदाज करने की कोशिश की, सत्यता से परे हट करके बात की। और जब उसके बारे में साक्ष्य सामने आए, इसके बाद वो हाई कोर्ट ने जब ये सारी बातों पर संज्ञान लिया और नोटिस लिया, तो राज्य को बाध्य होकर के कहना पड़ा कि हाँ, ऐसा हो सकता है। और उस समय उन लोगों ने सरकार ने कहा कि ये भारत सरकार की जिम्मेदारी। देखिए, रेवेन्यू रिकॉर्ड्स को मेंटेन करने का काम, लैंड से रिलेटेड इश्यूज़ के और जो लोगों के, गांव के या ट्राइबल्स के या इस तरह के कोई भी मामले, वो थाने से, स्थानीय पुलिस से रिलेटेड है। किसी
तो आप ये कह रहे हैं कि ये घुसपैठिया वाला इशू सबसे बड़ा इशू था, इन्फिल्ट्रेशन वाला इशू सबसे बड़ा इशू था। समय अल्प है अर्जुन मुंडा जी।
ये एक मामला था। इसके अलावे इसके अलावे भी सरकार को यदि कहा जाए कि उस राज्य में, झारखंड में पॉलिसी डेफिशिएट होने लगी थी, स्पष्टता नहीं थी, लोगों के संवेदनाओं को जगा करके कैसे मत लिया जाए। 5 साल पहले सरकार
तो मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगा अर्जुन मुंडा जी,
5 साल का हिसाब किताब भी तो जानता चाहते
तो 50 का आंकड़ा पार होगा कि 47 में आप संतुष्ट हैं?
देखिए, अभी पूर्ण बहुमत से बनाएंगे और संख्या तो हम पेटी में
मुख्यमंत्री की दावेदारी आपकी है?
देख रहे हैं, जनादेश का मूड देख रहे हैं।
मुख्यमंत्री की दावेदारी
नहीं, ये सारा मामला हमारा विषय नहीं है। नहीं, हम मैं तो चुनाव भी नहीं लड़ रहा।
आपको बहुत बहुत साधुवाद,
कार्यकर्ता के नाते मैं चुनाव में शामिल हूँ।
ऑल द बेस्ट अर्जुन मुंडा जी, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। 23 तारीख को फिर आपसे आशा करेंगे कि आप फिर हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे कवरेज पे। थैंक यू। लेट्स गो स्ट्रेट अक्रॉस टू द कैंडिडेट फ्रॉम वर्ली who's gone head to head with the scion of the Thackeray family, Aditya Thackeray. Milind Deora is with us. Milind ji, namaste. This is Anand here. With me is Zaka Jacob and also Rahul Shivshankar. As the dust settles on polling, are you happy with the turnout in Worli? Are you smiling or are you pensive?
No, I think that the turnout in Mumbai, Maharashtra overall has been good. It's been a good turnout, and Worli in many ways is reflective of that turnout. And to be honest, Mumbai has always been getting a flack for how many people come out and vote, and different sections vote differently also. But overall, I would say from a turnout perspective, I'm happy. From a campaign perspective, I'm happy. We ran a constructive, positive, development-oriented campaign. And I'm very sure that the mood in Maharashtra during the Lok Sabha elections and the mood in Maharashtra during the Vidhan Sabha elections, there's a huge difference between the two. And the Mahayuti did a lot of work to sort of offset any losses and to make up for that with various initiatives. I mean, not just schemes, but even the fact that to bust fake narratives, even the fact that infrastructure projects which were about to be completed before the Lok Sabha elections but hadn't been completed and got completed between the Lok Sabha elections and the Vidhan Sabha elections, also give citizens the faith and confidence that the state is moving forward.
But Milind, tell me, in Worli, despite this high-profile contest between yourself and Aditya Thackeray, the voting percentage we have till 5 p.m. is 47%. That is substantially lower than the state average. In Kolaba, where you've lived a large part of your life, it was 41%. It's probably the lowest in the entire state. What explains that?
Let's wait. Let's wait for the final figures to come out. Till 6 p.m. The data still takes an hour to come out, as you know. So let's wait for the final figures. Sometimes there are booths. I saw a few booths where there was a line outside the booth until 6 p.m. So obviously the Election Commission allows people to vote and complete their voting if there's a line after 6 p.m.
Mr. Deora,
So I think let's wait for the final figures to come out. I think by around 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m. is when we'll know the final figures for Worli, for
Okay.
Mumbai,
Rahul, just
for
bear with me for a
Maharashtra.
second. Just one
Yeah.
second. Hold your question. Milinji, we've got 3 numbers as of now from the pollsters. Chanakya Strategies number is also out. All 3 of them, in varying ranges, are giving the government to the Mahayuti. Perhaps PMark is the most conservative, which says about 137 to 157. We've got Matriz, which is saying that it is again 150 to 170, and we've also got now Chanakya Strategies, which is again saying 150 to 160. Are you happy with these projections? Do they surprise you? Just your thoughts on the numbers, and then Rahul will take the next question. Ji.
Yeah, no, they don't surprise me. I have to be very honest and candid with you. I have a consistent track record for a politician on this issue. That I am not a big believer in exit polls, so I take them with a pinch of salt personally. But of course, if it's encouraging and it's positive, then one would be happy.
we're taking
But
them,
in general, I think beyond
just
the
for the
polls,
record,
as I
we're
said,
taking
there was-
them with a quintal of salt, no longer a pinch of salt. So just as a just to put it on the record there, these are not our, first of all, viewers, these are not our exit poll projections. We are being parasitical here. We are taking them from other channels and relaying them to you. But one second, Mr. Deora, I just wanted to ask you this question. It's interesting. So you are obviously looking at the turnout as something that might advantage you. Number one, why do you think turnout would advantage you? Number one. Number two, do you believe you would be the giant killer of this election? Because if you were to win, it would be national headlines. This really is, and would tell the story. Because look, I mean, let's suspend belief and accept these numbers. This would suggest that there is a big pro-incumbency in your favor, or at least in the Mahayuti's favor.
I think, look, regardless of whether turnout is high or low, I think that there was a positive feeling towards wanting to get Mahayuti back into power. The Chief Minister certainly enjoys a lot of personal popularity. For me personally, I have a relationship with this constituency, with the larger South Mumbai constituency. I may not be a Worlikar in the sense my voting doesn't happen in Worli. So you can say for the assembly point of view, I'm not a local, but I live obviously very close by. But my relationship with this constituency really goes back 55, 58 years. And my late father first bought a municipal corporation seat in 1968 from Chandanwadi, an area in South Mumbai, and since then, from 1980, in fact, he's been fighting. Our family has been fighting 11 non-stop Lok Sabha elections. The 2024 Lok Sabha was the first time we didn't fight. There was the 12th Lok Sabha election which we didn't fight. Otherwise, we fought 11 elections consecutively. So the relationship with this constituency really transcends power. If I win, what would the media call me? That I leave that to you. But for me, really, even as a Rajya Sabha MP, I will continue to represent people to the best of my abilities. Even a Rajya Sabha MP, in my opinion, has local powers. And of course, there's a huge difference between a Rajya Sabha MP and even a Lok Sabha MP. But I really believe that even a Rajya Sabha MP who does technically represent the entire state has the power to serve the people of a local assembly area like Worli. So I'm very confident that regardless of the result, I will continue to build and maintain ties with the people of Worli.
Milind, let me put you in a spot. So if you win in Worli and become MLA elect, which of the two would you give up? Would you give up your Rajya Sabha seat or would you give up your MLA seat?
I honestly, that's a discussion I'll have within the party. But as I said, that these are things. These things happen so fast. One doesn't have time to go into what if and what if. this happens and that happens. You don't really play out these scenarios or apply your mind in terms of a decision matrix. But as I said, to me, state politics, central politics, Lok Sabha MP, Rajya Sabha MP, no power at all. The things for me remain the same. My relationship with this constituency remains the same. I wasn't holding public office for a long time. I continue to have a very good relationship with the people of South Mumbai, of which Worli is a part.
All right.
So as I said, this relationship is something which transcends politics, and I'm one of those politicians, which I think there are very few in India, who live in the area where you fight elections from. A lot of people live in one particular area, then they take a train or a plane to another part of the country and then fight elections from there. What happens in South Mumbai affects me directly, the good and the bad. So I feel very passionate about that, and I feel very happy that I'm part of this community and this constituency.
What is the confidence level, let me ask you again, personally and also all across for Worli and also for all across Maharashtra? I know you're trying to be balanced. I know you don't believe in exit polls, but I'm sure there would have been an internal assessment done. Do the exit polls reflect the kind of confidence that...
Confidence is good, high, not overconfident. I certainly believe what I've seen. There was certainly the kind of campaign that the alliance ran in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections just 6 months ago is, I mean, fundamentally different from the campaign that we ran in the Vidhan Sabha elections. Far more aggressive, far more consistent in our strategy, far more united, far better coordination between all allies, and that's largely because of a state election versus a central election. Central election, you also dependent on the larger national mood, although Maharashtra did have a different mood as compared to what the national mood was. And one can say perhaps we could have localized the Lok Sabha election campaign as well. But in the Vidhan Sabha election, you have the opportunity to do that. You focus on local issues. You also divide Maharashtra based on regions. You have a different campaign for Mumbai, you have a different campaign for Vidarbha. And I think every box was ticked by the alliance partners in this election.
Well, you will not be allowed to be just a Rajya Sabha MP or just an MLA from Worli when the results happen on 23rd, Milinji. You know it very, very well. But we will take those questions and on result day. 23rd, Saturday evening, we would need your time, and I'm securing it live on air.
What happens
you have to
in
join
Worli
us
will not stay in Worli. If he wins, what happens in Worli will not stay in Worli.
Will not stay in Worli.
It will be national news.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All the very, very best to you.
Please don't compare Worli to Las Vegas.
Well, it's going upwards, isn't it? It's quite glitzy.
Thank you so much. Let's quickly tell you, there is a bypoll happening in Uttar Pradesh, 9 seats. We've got a JVC prediction for the bypolls in Uttar Pradesh, and the numbers are saying 6 and 3. 6 for Yogi Adityanath and the BJP, and that's the JVC bypolls. 3 for Samajwadi Party. So it's 6 and 3. 6 and 3. There is also a projection or a prediction that's come in from Z. Z News is actually using AI and social media conversation and chatter. That's what they are doing. And their number is closer to a 50-50 or a 60-40. 5 and 4 is the number for assembly bypolls. Matriz has also projected the assembly bypolls, and will that then shift the narrative in Uttar Pradesh? We'll have to see how much it affects. Matriz is coming out and looking at these 9 seats and saying 7 and 2. So overall, it means that an aggregate of 6 seats out of 9 will go to the BJP plus, and of course the Samajwadi Party will have about 3. That's what it looks like as of now if you look at these 3 predictors, projectors. Uttar Pradesh ki agar baat kare, how important are these assembly bypolls? Because Akhilesh has been trying to stitch a narrative that Lok Sabha ke baad he's on the up and Yogi Adityanath is on the way down. But look, these bypolls, will they then change the whole thing?
This is very important, this election, as a barometer of what happens really in the Hindi belt, in the cow belt, so to speak. And Mr. Yogi Adityanath would want to at least appear to have consolidated after the reversals, which really cost the NDA its majority.
No, and Akhilesh has been quite brazen, because today he said that Delhi bhi khilaf hai, Deputy bhi khilaf hai.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. So there is this internal dimension. I don't know how much that has played up, if those issues have been resolved, but for Yogi Adityanath to also project himself later on, or for the party to think that he is, remember, he's sent across the length and breadth of the country as the star campaigner after Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah.
Okay.
Let's not forget.
Okay.
So that will depend a lot. But you know, there is a poll that is being put out where the Maharashtra number seems to be 48% the vote share. Which one is that? Because
No,
that
we'll
really
try,
would seem...
we'll call out Maharashtra in just a bit. Quick word on Uttar Pradesh. Will this set the tone, narrative? Will Yogi Adityanath tell everybody to pipe down Rashid Kitwai?
I think, Anand, we must remember these are
अगर
bipoles.
6-3 का आंकड़ा होता तो फिर क्या कहेंगे?
No. I think we must remember these are bipoles, so they cannot be by any stretch of imagination can be really, quantified in a very big manner. Of course, if these numbers hold true, it will be a personal.
No, had it been 6 for Samajwadi Party and 3 for BJP, would you have said the same thing?
No, yes, because most seats that are going to polls are, were held by Samajwadi Party. So therefore, it's a setback for Samajwadi Party if that happens, and it's a kind of personal glory, moment of personal glory for Yogi Adityanath, but nothing more and nothing less.
तो ना दिल्ली चाहिए ना डिप्टी चाहिए मैं अकेला ही काफी हूँ विल योगी आदित्यनाथ से like the something like that to अखिलेश यादव if these results if these projections hold if these hold big if
No, Anand, you must remember there are 400 seats in Uttar Pradesh, and we are going to judge, the politics of it by 9 by-elections.
सर माहौल बनाने के लिए 9 सीट काफी है वो बहुत लोग जानते हैं आप भी जानते हैं माहौल बनाने के लिए 9 सीट काफी है
ठीक है
जी Then we go back to Maharashtra after this.
No, I want to make a point on the by-elections. If these numbers hold, they are significant. Simply because there was a complete change of direction in UP 3 months ago. Right? The momentum shifted. The UP is at the heart of the BJP's dominance in Indian politics.
Correct.
UP goes, everything goes.
Correct.
So in UP there was a complete turnaround and Samajwadi Party became the dominant party there. So if you're getting a majority in 11 seats, of course I take the point Rashid is making that this is 11 is not 400, but still they are an indicator of momentum.
देखिए दो बड़ी सीटें थी दो बड़े states थे UP and Maharashtra who returned the maximum seats.
So if you take it together
to
with
the Lok Sabha,
Haryana
1 and 2
and these exit poll numbers, if these numbers hold, then it seems that then these numbers would seem to indicate that the BJP has pulled back a lot of lost ground.
I'm always going to say if
Big
this
number
happens.
coming out.
Huh?
Jharkhand is going the other way according to Axis.
We'll put out the access numbers as they come. Let's go back to Maharashtra. We'll go back to Maharashtra now. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP. Now, cephalogist turned spokesperson is with us from the BJP, and a musician turned spokesperson is with us who's been also seeing a lot of changes happen within the NCP. Between June and November, what's happening? The exit pollsters are not giving Maharashtra to the Mahavikas Agadi so far. Clyde Crasto.
Well, like I said, I haven't seen it. Please tell me if you see the numbers. I've been on air and the other channel didn't.
Well, 154 is the average poll of polls so far for the NDA. INDI alliance is about 130. So this is a reversal of the Lok Sabha projections. Assembly leads, but say the Lok Sabha. And if I remember Indian Express saying that the MVA has 145 seats at that time. Abhi aap karib 15-20 seat minus chal rahe hain. Our projections here, Zaka was putting it on the wall. It said you would have had 154 seats had the results held based on the assembly leads in June 2024. But November ye ulta hota hua dikh raha hai. Chanakya has actually given 160 seats at the higher end to the NDA. There is also PMark, which is given 157 seats at the higher end, and there is today's Chanakya also, which is given the higher number. Chanakya Strategies, beg your pardon. Chanakya Strategies, which is also given the higher number of 170 to the NDA. The MVA is forming government only if the NDA does poorly, but all of them have said that the MVA is a poorer or is coming second in this race. Now, how would you take that?
Well, it's an exit poll. It's in front of you. I mean, I can't say this is wrong or right now. It's an exit poll. People have decided. They voted. Whatever comes out will come out on the 23rd. Haryana happened. After Haryana happened, anything can happen. So, let's take it.
Rashid Kitwai says MVA का internal number 170 है. खासकर दिल्ली में.
No. So Haryana can happen anytime. Zaka and I laughing today the other day. Zaka and I went for each other. Zaka, no offense meant. I don't mean that.
No, none taken and no offense meant from my side.
But
either.
You know what? After seeing Haryana, Anand is a friend. Anand, we spoke about this. After seeing Haryana, I was like, कुछ भी मुमकिन है. I mean, I'm not going to say मोदी है तो मुमकिन है, but लेकिन कुछ भी मुमकिन है.
नहीं, पर आपके यहाँ तो शरद पवार है तो मुमकिन है is the belief. तो क्या मुमकिन है?
मतलब मुमकिन यही, तो अगर मैं कहूँ कि मुमकिन यही है कि महाविकास आघाड़ी की सरकार आ रही तो आप लोग हंस लेंगे, तो ठीक है, आज
नहीं हम
बहुत
नहीं
मेहनत
हंसेंगे,
करी है
हम तो
हमने
पूछ रहे हैं सर, बिकॉज एवरीबडी सेज 50-50, तो आप भी 50-50 कह रहे हैं
Take heart, Mr.
No, I'll
Crasto.
tell- okay,
Mr. Crasto,
on the-
Mr. Crasto,
Huh.
take heart, because if this is wrong, as most of the exit polls are, then you're winning. That's what it should be. You should take heart. You should actually say, I welcome these.
No, so Rahul, to on a serious note, see, I'm a sportsman. I'm a sportsman. I take win and defeat both in the simple way that, if I lose, I work hard, and if I win, I work even harder.
Appreciate
So
that.
I don't get into all that, But the
Appreciate
point here is, on a serious note, I'm someone who's, completely connected to the grassroots, okay? And what I'm getting here, the sense that I'm getting here, it's a tight game. It could be anywhere. It will all depend on what the people have thought today when they went into vote. All the talk, all the jargon, all the rhetoric is over right now. It is very tight. Your exit polls.
If it is
say
so
NDA,
tight, let me ask you, if it is so tight, will you stay tight with your allies, or will there be fluidity? As the Chief Justice
No,
said, everything
absolutely
is
not.
fluid now.
No, I'll tell you something. No, we have stuck together. We are together as Mahavikas Aghadi. We'll go to the finish line together. There's absolutely
No,
going to be nothing.
he is asking about what will happen post the finish line.
No, but
Post the
together
finish
with
line.
whom?
मैं समझ गया मेरे भाई, राहुल की बात निशाना कहाँ लगा रहा है, understood. After the finish line also we'll go together, because I'll tell you, we are doing well, and while I said we are together and it's 50-50, I still feel we have the edge. And because I'm telling from talking to people, so I'm not a cephalologist, and I don't do sample surveys, but from the ground reality, talking to the people, actual voters, it's 50-50, but we have an edge, and let's see what happens on the 23rd.
Right. But I think we've got Babulal Marandi ji who's joining us. Babulal Marandi ji, नमस्ते. आनंद बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पर. मेरे साथ जाका और राहुल भी हैं. अभी तक जो रुझान दिखा रहे हैं एग्जिट पोल्स बता रहे हैं कि एनडीए की सरकार झारखंड में कंफर्टेबली बन रही है. आपका क्या अनुमान है? आज जो 38 सीटों की पोलिंग हुई है और 43 सीटें फेज 1 में जो हुई हैं.
नहीं, अभी तक जो हम सब लोगों ने अपने कार्यकर्ता से और अन्य भी एजेंसियों से जो हम लोगों ने सर्वे कराए हैं, तो मैं कह सकता हूं कि इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए गठबंधन की सरकार बनने जा रही है और 51+ सीटें एनडीए गठबंधन को आएगी.
तो ये तो भारी बहुमत की बात हो गई. क्या क्या फैक्टर्स हैं, किस वजह से आपको लग रहा है कि इतना बड़ा नंबर आपको आएगा 51+?
नहीं, फैक्टर तो कई एक होते हैं, क्यों कोई एक फैक्टर नहीं होता है. एक तो यहाँ का डेमोग्राफी का मामला है, और संथाल परगना के बड़ा हिस्सा को बुरी तरह से प्रभावित कर रहा था. फिर राज्य में जो व्याप्त करप्शन है, भ्रष्टाचार है
जी,
ऊपर लेवल पर भी और नीचे लेवल पर भी, जहाँ आम लोगों की जुड़ा होता है, थाना, ब्लॉक, अंचल, और बड़े बड़े भ्रष्टाचार की तो आप सब लोगों ने नोटों की पहाड़ को भी लोगों ने देखा
जी.
और फिर पूरे 5 वर्षों में जो कानून व्यवस्था भी बिगड़ा हुआ था, और फिर डेवलपमेंट का काम रुका हुआ. तो ये लोगों को लगता है कि भाई ये व्यक्ति काम किया नहीं, कमाने में लग गए, और सब लोग इनसे दुखी थे. नौजवान भी दुखी थे, जिन्हें नौकरी तो दिया नहीं, लेकिन नौकरी के नाम पर मौत दिए. जितने भी एग्ज़ाम हुए, सभी एग्ज़ाम में पेपर लीक हुआ. बच्चे सड़क से लेकर के हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक दौड़ लगाते रहे, लेकिन कोई कहीं सुनने वाला नहीं था. तो ये बच्चे, नौजवान भी नाराज़ थे, महिलाएं भी नाराज़ थी, आम जो आवाम है, सारे लोग दुखी थे इस सरकार से. तो कुल मिलाकर के मैंने कहा कि कोई एक मुद्दा नहीं होते हैं, कहिए कि ये जो 4-5 ऐसे इशू हैं, इन सारे मुद्दों को मिलाकर के सरकार को विदा करने की ही सब
लोकसभा से लेकर
और
विधानसभा तक कुछ वहां पर ग्राउंड पर चेंज हुआ है, कुछ अलग किया है बीजेपी ने, एनडीए ने?
नहीं, लोकसभा चुनाव में चूंकि पूरा देश में चुनाव होता है, तो एक हमारे नेताओं को भी इतना पर्याप्त समय नहीं मिल पाता है. और इस बार जैसे विधानसभा की चुनाव थी, तो हम लोग तो चुनाव काम में कुछ लड़ रहे थे, कुछ लड़ा रहे थे, लेकिन केंद्र की ओर से भी, जैसे शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी भारत सरकार के कृषि मंत्री, असम के मुख्यमंत्री श्री हेमंता विश्व शर्मा जी, प्रभारी डॉक्टर लक्ष्मीकांत वाजपेयी जी, तो ये लोगों ने काफ़ी समय दिया. और ख़ास करके असम के और मुख्यमंत्री और कृषि मंत्री,
मरांडी साहब,
जिसको कह सकते हैं
एक
जब
रुझान
से
आया
दोनों
है
को
हमारे
समय मिला
सामने,
तो सुबह यहाँ तो शाम दिल्ली, शाम गुवाहाटी।
जी
एक रुझान आया है हमारे सामने,
हाँ,
जो
क्या
है
बोले?
जो एक रुझान आया है हमारे सामने जो एक्सिस का है, एक्सिस माई इंडिया, आपने नाम सुना होगा, ये पोस्टर का, ये कुछ और बता रहे हैं। ये बता रहे हैं कि जो एग्जिट पोल है उसमें आपकी जीत नहीं मगर जेएमएम कांग्रेस की जीत होगी। तो आप कुछ और बता रहे हैं, ये पोस्टर कुछ और बता रहे हैं, और इनका रिकॉर्ड काफ़ी ठीक भी है। ऐसा नहीं है कि एक दो इलेक्शंस जो सबसे मेजर इलेक्शन है उस पर तो इनका चौपट हो गया, मगर उसके अलावा इधर उधर उन्होंने ठीक किया है। ऐसा भी नहीं है कि एकदम उनको आज की डेट में राइट ऑफ कर सकते हैं। बट मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं कि
नहीं, मैं किसी
जो
को
नंबर
write up
आपने
नहीं करता
बताया
हूं, चूंकि
उसका मतलब यह है कि बीजेपी को भी बहुत
देखिए
उन्नति
हर
हुई
कोई
है,
अपना
प्रगति
एक
हुई है
अनुमान
उनकी।
बताते हैं। हम तो अपने कार्यकर्ताओं के काम के आधार पर मैं बताता हूँ क्षेत्र की परिस्थितियों को। जिस प्रकार से, जो कि प्रत्येक चुनाव हम सब लोग लड़ते हैं तो एक प्रकार से एक अनुभव हो जाता है, कहाँ हम जीत रहे हैं, कहाँ हम हार रहे हैं, कहाँ हमारी क्या पोजीशन रहेगी, कैसे रहेगी। तो मैं कह सकता हूँ कि इस बार जो जनता में भी उत्साह थी, कार्यकर्ता में भी जो उत्साह था, तो कुल मिला करके और सरकार के प्रति जो निराशा थी, तो वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए गठबंधन के पक्ष में वो जा रहा था सब कुछ।
बाबूलाल मरांडी जी, संगठन को कैसे आपने ठीक किया, क्योंकि कहा जा रहा था कि झारखंड का बीजेपी संगठन में भी थोड़ा सा कलह है, अंतर कलह है, क्या उसको भी आपने कुछ ठीक किया है? और अगर ये नतीजे ठहरते हैं तो 23 तारीख के बाद आपकी भूमिका क्या होगी?
कंप्लीट उस तरफ चल रहा है।
हम तो संगठन में प्रदेश अध्यक्ष हैं और अध्यक्ष होने के नाते हम चाहेंगे कि झारखंड में बीजेपी के नेतृत्व में सरकार बने। उसी के लिए हम सब ने मेहनत किया है, परिश्रम किया है।
संगठन से सरकार की ओर रुख करने के कोई आसार दिख रहे हैं?
नहीं, हमारा कोई वैसा नहीं रहता है कि मैं तो पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता होने के नाते
जी
हम चाहेंगे कि झारखंड से जो करप्शन जाए,
जी
झारखंड में जो यहाँ गरीबी है, पिछड़ापन है, बेरोजगारी है, ये सारी चीज़ें यहाँ से दूर हो।
जी
हमारा फोकस इस पर है, कौन मुख्यमंत्री बनता है कि ये कोई हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा इशू नहीं है, ये कोई बहुत बड़ा मामला नहीं बनता है ये।
जी जी, भारी बहुमत से अगर आपकी जीत होती है तो फिर आपकी दावेदारी प्रबल होगी, क्योंकि संगठन के अध्यक्ष आप हैं, प्रदेश कांग्रेस प्रदेश बीजेपी के, तो प्रदेश अध्यक्ष आप हैं। आपको बहुत बहुत ऑल द बेस्ट मैं कहूँगा और धन्यवाद भी कहूँगा कि आप अब इस वक्त जुड़े। पर एक वादा आपसे लूँगा कि 23 तारीख को भी आप हमें समय देंगे यहाँ पर नतीजे आने के बाद।
चलो जरूर मिलेंगे आप सब लोगों से।
धन्यवाद, थैंक यू वेरी मच बाबूलाल मरांडी जी। लेट्स स्विंग बैक टू Maharashtra, ladies and gentlemen. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP with us. Axis My India numbers are being put out. Some other numbers have also come in. Overall, the mandate seems to be heavily in favor of the NDA. Pradeep Bhandari, are you still doing a bit of psephology? You had some indications on Haryana. Early exit pollsters going to get it right or wrong this time? Or are you a little worried कि हरियाणा में कांग्रेस को जिता रहे थे एग्जिट पोल्स, कुछ और हुआ, अब यहाँ पर एग्जिट पोलस्टर्स एनडीए को जिता रहे हैं, कुछ और ना हो जाए?
Anand ji, good evening to your viewers and good evening to you, Zak and Rahul. Well, what I can for sure tell you, Anand ji, that we are forming the government in Maharashtra with a comfortable majority. Also, we are forming the government in Jharkhand, and in Uttar Pradesh, we intend to gain more than 60% seats. And it is very simple. Point number one, in Maharashtra, if you look and study the election in detail, our vote share even in 2020-24, when we performed a bit not as per our expectation, the vote share remained intact at more than 25%. And we were only 2 lakh votes less than the Mahavinash Aghadi. So overall, we've improved and we've done the correction like we did in Haryana. And there are 2 crore women who benefited from Ladki Behna, which according to me will be the swing factor along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's welfare. So do not be surprised if the exit poll expectations on Maharashtra is an underestimation, And like in Madhya Pradesh 2023, if you recall, the final result surpassed everybody's expectation. But what I can tell you that the trend is fine according to what I am reading from the ground. In Jharkhand, if you, I somehow disagree with the exit poll, one of the exit poll which is saying that it will be the India Alliance government which will be formed in Jharkhand, for a very simple reason, that even in 2019 and 2014, in both these state elections, our vote share was more than 30%. It was only some specific seats which we could not win in the 2019. That is where the JMM could have a certain seats more than us. This time we have an alliance. And with an alliance, we have performed fairer like it in 2014. So we are confident in Jharkhand. What is just 10 seconds I will take. What is important to look at in Uttar Pradesh is, because all these seats, I disagree with Rashid who was saying 9 seats से क्या होगा? होगा. क्योंकि पिछली बार हमारी 3 सीटें ही आई थी और इन सभी सीटों के ऊपर दलित जो है वो 50,000 रफली मार्जिन में आते हैं और अगर हम 6 या 6 से ज्यादा सीटें जीतते हैं तो इससे यह आप निष्कर्ष निकाल सकते हैं, यू कैन मेक दैट कंक्लूजन राशिद जी, दैट द दलित्स इन उत्तर प्रदेश आर विद द भारतीय जनता पार्टी. इफ यू कैन मेक अ माहौल विद 90 सीट्स एंड लूजिंग फॉर द थर्ड consecutive time as an opposition, I believe that if we win with double our seats in Uttar Pradesh, because last time we got 3, we definitely have the right to say that the people of Uttar Pradesh, in particular the
Rashid
Dalits,
Kidwai was not making the माहौल. I just said कि 9 सीट से भी माहौल बन सकता है जैसे 99 से बना था.
नहीं, not Rashid जी नहीं, मतलब generally opposition. Not Rashid ji, nothing to Rashid ji.
So let me just go across to Dr. Bhalchandra Mungekar, author and former MP. He should be joining us. We also have Chetan Bhagat joining us. Namaste Chetan ji. And we also have Sajid Supariwala, leader of the UBT. He just put his hand up. Namaste. So please, Sajid, let's start with you. You had your hand up on the projection so far. I know Rashid Kidwai said that the Congress in Delhi, their internal projection is that the MVA is getting about 170 seats. What is your thought process?
Is the BJP spokesperson's middle name enthusiastic by any chance? Over enthusiastic? Because I am seeing that he's refusing the exit polls in Jharkhand, but he's accepting the exit polls of Maharashtra.
Okay,
that also
sorry to interrupt you. Just one correction.
See, exit polls are just exit polls.
No, only one exit pollster has given an adverse number in Jharkhand, which he refuted. 3 of the exit pollsters have given the mandate to the NDA. Yeah, please carry on.
Can I continue? I think his middle name is definitely over enthusiastic BJP, but Bharatiya Jumla Party, not Bharatiya Janata Party. The thing is that we are very confident. I am a person who stays on the ground in Mumbai and Maharashtra. I know what is going on the ground. Anywhere I went, all the polling booth centers where we have to take the survey, I found that every person, whoever it might be of caste, creed or religion, they all were saying we are tired of the Bharatiya Jumla Party and the Minde government in Maharashtra. We want our jobs back to Maharashtra. We want our rights back to Maharashtra from Gujarat and other states. And we will vote only for the parties who are in interest of Maharashtra. Secondly, I saw everybody without me even trying to ask them whom you are voting. In the places where Mashal was there, they were saying we are voting for Mashal. We don't need your clarification for the symbols. And other places also, they knew the symbols by heart. So they loved the Mahavikas Aghadi Sarkar by heart. Lok Sabha, they have been shown the door. They needed 2 pillars in the form of Chandrababu Naidu and that Nitish Kumar. Now here I don't know what they will want for. Now we 3 and other allies of ours are totally prepared to make a CM out of our Mahavikas Aghadi. And these exit polls are already showing cut to cut. Let the real results come, then you will know.
What's your understanding? What's your understanding? Is it going to be cut to cut, or do you believe that the MBA will have a clear mandate?
No, in fact, I am looking at a place where I think we will be more than 25% to 30% more than what they are even thinking about.
Okay, so you believe that it will be runaway victory more than 170 seats,
definitely,
which is quite unprecedented in the Maharashtra scenario.
But
even now.
If it was such a cakewalk, why did it take so much time for you to finalize your seats? Why did we see Sharad Pawar having to step in and dictate the terms? There seemed to be no. Hang on. And secondly, how is backing clerics who call for all sorts of, according to the BJP, all sorts of jihad against India, etc., in the interest of Maharashtra.
We have seen no jihad, we have seen dharm jihad, we have seen a lot of jihad from these people as well. There is the form of jihad that they are showing. They are hitting people on the roads.
No one is, corruption. Look, I mean,
there was a note jihad.
No, hang on. One second.
The government was found with 2 crores of cash in hand.
Right.
Which 2 crores? Where?
And even we were having discussions.
No, where is the 2 crores?
Okay.
In the government, I'll show you the report. It is with me.
Right.
The
point is, no. There are claims which are made. There is no evidence. What Chetan Bhagat, and then we'll also have Shaina NC joining us. Yes, Chetan Bhagat.
Hi guys, hello. Very excited to be here with this great panel. And exit polls, I don't know what to do with exit polls these days. They are more for fun. I think we all admit that they've been wrong many times. But, we are here to make the most of them. So there's no point just saying they mean nothing. A couple of things. I think when there is a close race, or if there is a race with an edge to BJP, what often happens? BJP only makes the government, right? If it's close and a close plus, then the BJP makes the government, right? So I think the BJP, and especially in this kind of case where you have several parties, it's not just one versus the other.
Right.
It is 6-7 parties, lots of Lego blocks to play with. So, and guess who's the best Lego player in town? It's the Saffron Party, and they will basically come with the. Now, let's figure out why this might have happened. We will know more on Saturday, of course.
Right.
But whether people like it or not, if this is indeed the result, एक बात साफ है कि एक स्लोगन हिट हो गया है, एक है तो सेफ है, वो हिट है. अब वो हिट क्यों है, क्या सही है, एथिकल क्या है, वो अलग डिस्कशन है. ठीक है, maybe the Batake to Gatake was a bit extreme. It was a bit aggressive, but somewhere some minds were put and said इसी को थोड़ा ऐसे safe way में play करते हैं, and एक है तो safe है.
They both actually mean the same. That if you are divided,
well, it's a little different. It's a little one's more graphic, one is.
Yeah, if you are divided, then you will succumb and you will be defeated.
See,
if you are united, you will be safe. They mean the same, but like you
feeling
said,
of
one is
safety,
more graphic, the
Anand.
other is more amenable. That's
Also,
what.
Anand, feeling
Yeah.
of safety, you cannot deny that I need a feeling of safety.
Correct.
If I tell you that you're going to be murdered, no, that's a bit too much. You may say, what are you talking about? I'll say, Anand, make sure you're safe in your home tonight.
Correct.
You'll say, thank you, yeah.
Okay, so that's more amenable.
That has worked. A couple of projects came out. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know how much impact it makes, but in Mumbai, some
Chetan,
projects were
Chetan,
brought
please
in.
allow me to
I'll let others come in, yes.
say hello to Shaina NC, candidate.
Hi, Shaina. She's smiling. She's smiling.
She's smiling, yeah. So let's ask her.
That is the best exit poll. China's smile is the most predictable, accurate exit poll out there.
It's just that I'm just saying Shaina NC, she's a good friend also. But should I say BJP? Should I say, Shiv Sena? Or should I say Mahayuti? What should we say, candidate for which party or which grouping, Shaina NC?
No, I think I am very clear that I am the candidate for the Mahayuti, which is the Shiv Sena and the BJP. And I'd like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister Eknath Shinde ji for believing in me and giving me this opportunity from the toughest seat in Maharashtra, which is Mumbai. And we have fought valiantly. And let me please say, for all those who talk about, just appeasement politics and raking people and trying to keep people at vote banks. In Mumbai, we have 140,000 Muslim and 1 lakh Hindus. And despite that, despite the topography, despite the caste community breakup, we are going to win. And this is going to be a historic victory for Maharashtra, where the Mahayuti will prove that sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka prayas, sabka vishwas. And the biggest hit has been Ladki Behna Yojana. And when you had Mr. Shinde come in as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, he empowered 2.5 crore women with giving them 7,500 rupees so they can start their own entrepreneurial venture from home or educate themselves or skill development. And it benefited us tremendously because
But there are pollsters, Shaina ji, there are pollsters, Shaina ji, who are not giving the mandate to the Mahayuti. They are giving the Mahavikas Aghadi the mandate. There are at least 3 pollsters who are giving the Mahavikas Aghadi the mandate. So there also it's dead heat.
Right. in the recent past, just go back to Haryana elections and you will know how they have been
On
wrong.
that point,
Go
let's
back to
Shaina NC,
Lok Sabha.
on that point, we're also now joined by Pradeep Gupta. Now, he's interesting because Pradeep Gupta has come out with a poll which goes the other way on Jharkhand, significantly other way. So, Mr. Gupta, can you tell us how is it that you're running against the grain?
Well, as I always says that we go to each and every assembly constituency of the state and we try and understand the mood of the people, whom they are likely to vote, whom they have voted for, and why they have voted for, the most important point. And three, four highlights I would like to put forward as far as the Jharkhand goes. First and foremost is there is a clear pro incumbency in favor of Hemant Soren state government. That's one. Two, same the way Maharashtra is having the Madhya Pradesh was having Ladli Behna Yojana. There is a Maiya Samman Yojana. By the virtue of that, women in the age group of 18 to 50 years, they get 1,000 rupees every month, and state government has also promised it to increase it by 2,500. Of course, the NDA alliance has also promised the similar in the similar lines. Second is the free electricity, and the most important, this is the state where the Adivasi, the ST population is as high as 25%. And Muslim population 15%, 1/5.
So you believe Jharkhand will
Mr. Bhandari wants to come in on this.
You believe Jharkhand will go to, but what's your projection for Maharashtra? We have Deepak Kesarkar also in China NC also with us. So what's your projection for Maharashtra? We got Mr. Supariwala also with us. So let's ask you, Pradeep ji, what's your projection for Maharashtra? Mahayuti or Mahavikas Aghadi?
I think for Maharashtra, particularly Access My India, we have decided to hold on to it for today at least. We need more time to study it, and in fact we are known for post-poll study, and Maharashtra being a single phase poll in all 288 assembly constituency, we thought let's study further and come with the poll tomorrow.
Okay, so let's ask Deepak Kesarkar ji. Deepak ji, namaste. There is a lot that's happened in the last 1.5 years in Maharashtra, and there's a lot that's happened in the last 4 or 5 months. What do you believe is going to happen?
We are coming back into power. In fact, last election also, we had come back into power as UT. But unfortunately, the decision taken by Uddhav Thackeray was to join the Congress and NCP, and that's why we could not come into power. But simultaneously it happened, which was public mandate.
So this time you believe that the Lok Sabha trends were different. Do you believe what's changed in the last 4 or 5 months between June 24 to now? Why are you so confident about the Mahayuti?
First is that wrong perception that were created during Lok Sabha. We are very cautious about it this time. Second thing is the welfare measures that we have taken and welfare schemes that we have introduced have made a lot of difference. Again, we had a connect with the people. A lot of various programs were arranged. The CM, DCM, they went to all corners of Maharashtra to introduce these schemes and take this scheme to the common people. And that is a success story.
But Mumbai, 36 seats. Last time in the Lok Sabha, Mumbai, the Mahayuti did not fare very well. And also in Vidarbha, Marathwada, two big pockets where the Mahayuti suffered losses. Do you believe you'll be able to claw back? We had Shaina NC, Milind Deora, all have contested from Mumbai. So there's a lot at stake for Eknath Shinde ji also there.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to mention here is that the population which supports Congress is limited to certain constituencies. So remaining constituencies will do very well. That I'm very much confident. And Lok Sabha election, even the concentration of votes in one constituency, in fact, it affects the entire Lok Sabha constituency. Like if you are winning in 4 or 5 constituencies, one constituency takes you back in such a big number. that you finally end up losing that constituency. And that has been proved everywhere in Maharashtra. We are winning in so many constituencies, but one or two constituencies where there were concentration of people
Right.
who were voting in favor of Congress, not Shiv Sena, because those are Congress voters right from the beginning. And they are now, they used to vote for various parties. Now it's concentration of votes or polarization of votes.
The ghadi was not matching well with Dhanush Ban and the Kamal. This was a conversation that was happening during Lok Sabha. Does that still remain on ground, or perhaps are things better? The ideological alliance versus the political alliance.
Whatever you are saying may be true, but our original UP was only between Shiv Sena and BJP. Ajit Pawarji joined afterwards, after he realized that we are doing a lot of good work, and he wanted to join, and that is how it became Mahayuti instead of Yuti.
So you believe that...
Yeah, it was very difficult for people to digest it. That is what I feel, because I used to tell about the alliance in Maharashtra from Assam. At that time, I used to mention that how NCP has treated Shiv Sena MLAs. And we didn't have any reply when he joined. And to a certain extent, yes, it was a little difficult to defend ourselves.
So how has that changed now? Has that changed now, or does that still remain? And will that hurt the Mahayuti?
No, I don't think. Now it is changed because the MLAs, those who are supporting Ajit Dada, are very strong in their constituencies. So there is no any chance of them losing their constituencies. It matters where how many MLAs win, that matters. So Ajit Dada will still be quite powerful in Maharashtra. That is what I feel.
Okay, Deepak Kesarjagar ji, thank you very much for your time and for joining us here on the coverage. We look forward to speaking with you on 23rd. Back to the conversation, we have voices from not just from the UBT but also leaning towards the Congress party. We'll go across to them. Dr. Balaja with us. But first, Rahul Shivshankar had a point to make on Jharkhand and the projections.
It's going very well. Go with the flow.
Sir, the Congress party, where do you think? Chetan Bhagat says exit polls, we'll see how it happens. Where do you think the Congress party would say, Dr. Balchandra Mungekar ji?
Yes, I think that whatever happened in Haryana is exactly going to happen, because whatever projections given by the exit polls, I don't think they will be meaningless, and they will be meaningful, and they will be very much relevant. Ground reality is totally different. And people in Maharashtra have already made their mind to vote Mahavikas Aghadi in a big way. But taking into further account the way the government has functioned during last 2.5 years, Shinde and Fadnavis government is absolutely unaccountable to the people. Survival of Maharashtra is at the stake.
Would you agree, Dr. Balchandra Mungekar, that the straight fights, like Rahul has been mentioning, Zaka has been putting out in Vidarbha and in Marathwada between the Congress and the BJP, 75 seats, that will be the deciding factor. If the Congress does not return at least 50% of these seats, the Mahavikas Aghadi will not win this election.
Congress certainly would get more than 50% seats in both the regions, that Vidarbha and Marathwada. For the simple reason, farmers are unhappy. There is violence and there is no law and order. Education and social sectors such as health, they are absolutely in shambles. And most importantly, people have got the perception in mind that whatever is happening to Mumbai is totally marginalized and diluted its importance. The financial sector services center has been shifted from Mumbai to Maharashtra. That's why Mumbai to Ahmedabad. That's why the perception
okay, thank you very much, Mungekar Saab. I want to go back to Pradeep Gupta, and I have two questions for you, Mr. Gupta. One, there are 6 polls that have come out in Jharkhand. 5 of them are saying the BJP alliance will win, or at least is leading, is in a comfortable position. Yours is the outlier poll. What did you see which others did not see? Secondly, I know you've not given out the numbers for Maharashtra. You'll probably give it out tomorrow. But at least can you share if there were any big broad trends, any big issues or slogans or whatever it is that you saw on the ground which was resonating more than other issues on the ground in Maharashtra? Maybe you can start with the second question, because we are on Maharashtra, and then we'll come to Jharkhand after that.
So, Jacob, as far as Maharashtra go, all I can say at this juncture is I'm feeling very sorry to say that I have no trend or whatsoever at this point of time to comment with, because that's the precisely reason why we need one more day for any kind of conclusive with the conviction kind of a number or the trend. Had I the numbers or the trends with me, which is clear enough at this point of time, we would have posted our prediction as well.
And in Jharkhand, what did you see which the others have not seen? Because you're the only poll that is saying that JMM alliance will win.
So Jharkhand, key highlighting point is, of course, the pro-incumbency is there, and this is the Jharkhand is the pure Adivasi state with the population, Adivasi population as high as 25% and 15% Muslims, and there is a Asmita, Adivasi Asmita issues also there. In NDA, we all know that when in the last government, when Mr. Das was non-Adivasi made the chief minister, so that is one thing which is riding. The second thing is that again the very popular scheme of Mukhyamantri Maiya Samman Yojana, by the virtue of that, women are getting 1,000 rupees into their account every month. And third thing is, and the most important thing from a BJP's point of view, there is an emergence of new party, JLKM, led by Tiger Jairam Mehto, which is getting 8% vote share in our poll. 8%, and bulk of them, 90% of their vote is coming from OBC's Mehto community, which is the base of BJP traditionally. And that is where they are denting the prospect of BJP. So these are the 3-4 key highlights which suggest there is a clear-cut, simple majority for sure.
Pradeep Bhandari, of course, has a different take on that. Pradeep Bhandari, again, I just come back to that point. When Hemant Soren was arrested, he made this point that, look, at that time, the only tribal chief minister of India was put in jail. He claims it was false case, you kept him in jail for false reasons, and he made this whole election singularly on tribal pride. That's what Pradeep Gupta is also saying, but you disagree, Mr. Bhandari.
Zaka, I would respectfully disagree with Pradeep Gupta ji. I respect his analysis, but here is my take on it. Please understand one point. Last time in Kolhan, out of 14 seats, we got 0 seats. So we believe that we will be doing significantly well in Kolhan. Last time in Santhal Pargana, we were not even in 50% of the seats, and in Santhal Pargana, the Gusbaitia in particular, the Muslims which he was speaking about, taking away the tribal land, is a huge issue. So there is a counter consolidation on the ground against the Muslims. So the Muslim Dalit, Muslim Adivasi vote is not adding up across Jharkhand, is what I see. Point number 3, there is a 40 to 50% OBC population. Even in the part of Raghuvar Das, when he was speaking about, we had a vote share of more than 30%. So in 2014 and 2019, both these elections, the JMM did not get a vote share of more than 21%. Its seat density was more because it could sweep tribal areas, in particular Kolhan. This time we are definitely getting it, we are opening our account in Kolar and might be reaching seats which are 50%. I don't see an OBC split happening to such a big extent which will impact us so drastically that we do not cross the majority mark. So if you ask my analysis, I am seeing us with a more than 30% vote share as BJP and the alliance touching or crossing 40. I don't see an India alliance government as he is projecting.
Okay, let's bring it back to Maharashtra, because obviously, Maharashtra is the biggest state, it's the richest state, it's the second biggest state after Uttar Pradesh in terms of Lok Sabha MPs. And Chetan, a large part of your professional life you've spent in Mumbai, and you've seen, the politics of the city, the politics of the state over the last 5 years. Despite all the brouhaha and the Twitter outrage that we've seen over the last 5 years, why aren't we seeing people turning out in numbers? Kolaba had 41% voter turnout last time we checked.
Well, this is South Bombay for you. They watch Netflix and they, they are just too, it's sad, honestly. That's a separate discussion altogether. And that's just the way things are. And you're talking of the politics there, Zaka, I just want to add, Shiv Sena has been in an identity crisis since a long time. Like a Samajwadi party in UP is not the equivalent, where clearly Samajwadi party represents a certain castes, they are there for the OBCs, etc., etc. Shiv Sena was the first, you can say, nationalist kind of party, hyper nationalism, patriotism. Bala Sahib was a very big Hindutva supporter. Ever since Modi's rise in India and the brand came and BJP's rise came, Shiv Sena, what is Shiv Sena doing different than the BJP? What can Shiv Sena do that PM Modi cannot do? In terms of meeting the Hindutva agenda and meeting the nationalism agenda. That has been the case throughout. That is why I think Shiv Sena wanted their own CM in the previous election, even though they got less seats than the BJP, even though they had contested with the BJP. And now, I don't know, now it's split into two. It is like the amoeba has split up, or whether they were made to split up or whatever. I mean, at least the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena, what is it all about? It's not very clear. I think people have some sympathy that his party was taken away. He has some legacy from his dad. He maybe also has done some good work. He's a politician by itself. But in terms of ideology, it's not very clear. And I think BJP, after the Lok Sabha election, they really pulled up their socks in Haryana. They got a good victory. They got the momentum. They got the motivation. And I think they've done what it takes, whether it's Ladli Behna, they've done, whether it's certain slogans, Ek Hai To Sifat, they've reclaimed the territory, and they're making the OG Shiv Sena more and more redundant over time. They may even, I don't even know what the other Shiv Sena that they have will do over time. That's a separate, again, discussion. But I think they're kind of back, and it's not the same situation as Samajwadi Party in UP, where it makes a formidable opposition, because there's a confusion of ideology here. What is Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray doing with Congress and NCP? Can someone actually, in simple terms, explain to me why are they together, other than for being in power?
At this point in time, many would say that they have no other option. They have no other option because they would also, as Eknath Shinde's party claims and the Shiv Sena claims, and they are the Shiv Sena because they have the symbol, the bow and arrow is with them. So the Shiv Sena at this point claims that the core voter of the Shiv Sena or the Shiv Seniks actually sided with them even during Lok Sabha 2024. And they made a case in point as far as Mumbai is concerned. I have Dr. Raju Wagmare this time at this point, and after that Rashid Kidwai and Pradeep Bhandari, and also Mr. Supariwala. Raju Wagmare ji, 51 सीट जाका कह रहे हैं कि आपकी स्ट्रेट फाइट्स हैं between शिवसेना and UBT. Will this decide कि सही में शिवसेना कौन है?
Sir, I think we already decided, and the Maharashtra is also decided, that who is Asli Shiv Sena. And the Asli Shiv Sena, that you can say that Mr. Gentleman was saying about the OG, that Shiv Sena belongs to us. And we are not talking about just because we just sake of talking. If you see the numbers in Lok Sabha, we got a good strike rate of 47.5%. We got good voters numbers that you can see. And the voters who vote us, they are pure Shiv Sena voting bank. And who vote the Uddhav Thackeray? Who vote the UBT? If you look into that, the UBT took the voting from Congress vote bank. They took the voting from Muslim community. They took the voting from that fake narrative was giving them a complete Muslim voting 110%. If you look into many, I can give you many examples that 98% voting has been gone to one particular community, to the Shiv Sena. So with that vote bank, and if you see the numbers, the Shiv Sena, that what we belongs to Mr. Eknath Shinde, that we got good numbers of voting. So Maharashtra has already decided we are the Shiv Sena who is taking ideology of...
Sajid Supariwala wants to counter. Yes, Sajid Supariwala of Ubata. Yeah, Ji.
Just have some shame. How can you call yourself an original Shiv Sena when you have taken the bow and arrow away from the great Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray? Then you have sold your souls to somebody who was not even wiping out the Shiv Sena from Maharashtra and taking the jobs away and giving it to Gujarat, the industries away and taking it to Gujarat. We have come on common minimum program with NCP, Sharad Pawar and the Congress. We want the justice for the Maharashtra state. We want the justice for the youth in Maharashtra. You are talking about
let him complete and then you
have taken back Ajit Pawarji in your team, whom you had told the most corrupt person. You have taken Nawab Manik into your team. You are talking about ideologies. First, go and wash your face and come back from your sleep, and definitely we'll show you your place in Maharashtra. You will be
Okay,
wiped out.
we'll have time for this. No, one second. I want to move away from the rhetoric and focus on the analysis. Pradeep Gupta is there.
Yeah, so we are talking
one
about
second,
analysis only.
No, let's move
Right
away.
now we are
Let's
talking
move away,
about
please. Pradeep Gupta is there for one more answer before we take a break. I'll come to you, Rashid, right after that. Pradeep Gupta, again, I come back to, I showed this on the Magic Wall earlier in the morning. The straight fights, 75 seats between Congress and BJP straight fights in Maharashtra, 51 seats between Sena UBT and Shinde Sena, and 38 seats between NCP Ajit Pawar and NCP Sharad Pawar. Do you think that this election in Maharashtra will be decided in these three sets of straight fights? Whichever of these parties wins the straight fights, they win the state?
Not exactly, because if you will find that in the hunt of getting maximum number of seats to contest, these parties I'll tell you the three classic example, which is in our neighbor in Mumbai, Panvel, Pen and Aligarh. In these three seats, out of these three seats, UBT has placed one candidate, though there is already India Alliance candidate is already there. So as far as these numbers goes, there are so many places where these numbers are given just for the sake of it is given. But as rightly you have mentioned, Marathwada and Vidarbha will decide where the wind is blowing.
Right.
That's one. Secondly, also when we come out with our poll tomorrow, we will have a better idea who is the real Shiv Sena, because we have asked at least 36,000 people this very question, and I am sure you will get this answer on the counting day as well. But tomorrow we will try and bring some more deep dive data and detailed data.
Pradeep ji, with due respect, I think the decision will be on the 23rd as the dust settles on the numbers as to who the real Shiv Sena will be, because that's 9.7 crore voters overall in Maharashtra, of which let's hope that at least 65% have turned out to come out and vote as we get the final numbers in. Pradeep Bhandari, coming to you after Rashid Kidwai. Ji.
I think Chetan made a lot of observations about Shiv Sena or lack of its character and face. Shiv Sena has always been led by doctrine of necessity. It started with that Vasant Sena, supporting Congress indirectly. They went after communists, and then after South Indians, and then of course Pakistan and Muslim bashing, all these things. In between, they supported Indira Gandhi and emergency. Bala Saheb Thackeray supported emergency. In 1980, when Indira Gandhi returned, Bala Saheb supported Indira Gandhi. So this has been a very checkered thing. Shiv Sena, by no stretch of imagination, has been part of, so to say, Sangh Parivar or that Hindutva ideology, as the RSS bandwagon. So this is also we must remember.
No, but from 1992, since Babri Masjid, and 95 they formed their first government, till 2014, that's a good 20 years, Rashid.
Yeah. So even now they are supporting, a faction of it is supporting Nawab Malik. So that is what I'm saying. So there is a doctrine of necessity. Whatever helps them, they go along with that.
No, but in this case, the larger base question, you go back to the fact that the mandate in 2019 was given to a particular coalition, and who broke away from that coalition for their own particular reasons or whatever be the reasons. Now, either is justified, but overall that ideological spilling over happened in 2019. It's not happening in 2024, as many would say, but after that it's all a khichdi and opportunism, like you said, that also stands there to bears itself out in Maharashtra. Pradeep Bhandari, Rohit Chandravarkar, and then Raju Bhagmare. Yeah.
Well, Anandji, just 2 points. I believe that why we are very, very confident in Maharashtra, and this is a data point which I want to throw, which could give it to a perspective to your analysts. Even in the 2024 elections, we were just 0.3% vote share less than the Maha Vikas Aghadi. So overall, if you look at it, we were just 2,03,192 votes less than that. Now, add to that Latki Behna, which we are sensing on the ground is working. Add to that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision, and add that the counter correction which we have done on particularly the fake news which the opposition tried to spread in the Lok Sabha elections, we believe it will be a very comfortable majority. And just 10 seconds, Maharashtra, if you look at it historically, since 2009, 14, 19, there have been roughly more than 70 seats in each of these elections where the contest has been close, where the margins have been less than 15,000. We believe our organic unity in 287 seats, bearing apart Nawab Malik seats, will help us in these close contests also. This is why we are very confident in Maharashtra.
Right. Rohit ji, quickly, I have to take a break.
See, two things that I can see take takeaways I can call if these numbers hold that we have on the screen right now. One is something that Zaka mentioned in the morning, which is that independents and others don't really have it this time. Number is 8 if this goes, and that's a major thing. I mean, that's a major shift from what the initial expectation was. Second point is, I think Devendra Fadnavis has been hitting on the point that they lost the Lok Sabha, many Lok Sabha seats just by 0.5% or so. And his narrative was that we have to push the Hindutva line basically to draw out the Sangha Karyakartas and the BJP Karyakartas so that the booth management and the Panna Pramukhs and all come out who did not come out because of Ajit Pawar and other factors during the Lok Sabha polls. So that seems to have worked. I think if these numbers hold, it's clear that it is...
It's a manifestation of all that work.
And the second part is, of course, the independents not...
Well, Aman sitting next to you had done a story here on news18.com and News18 that about 50,000 sabhas and meetings have been done by the RSS and they are out in full strength helping that. So if these numbers hold as per the exit pollsters, perhaps that's also giving us results. The exit poll numbers, poll of polls right now on your screens as we take a short break. 151 to the NDA in Maharashtra, comfortably forming government. 40 to the NDA in Jharkhand, so it's very, very close, because 41 is the majority mark, although the NDA believes they will touch 50. And this 40 is because one pollster is an outlier who's given the mandate to the INDI alliance there, led by the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in Jharkhand. We speak more and get you more on the other side. Stay with us.
Dadu. And I'm joined by a battery of reporters from Maharashtra who are in fact reporting on ground. Mayuresh is in fact reporting from Bandra. He is tracking the Thackeray family. Payal is in fact reporting from central Nagpur, tracking RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. Yesha from Thane tracking Eknath Shinde. And Pallavi from Baramati tracking Sharad Pawar. Now let me go first across to Payal, who is in fact reporting from central Nagpur, tracking Mohan Bhagwat. Payal, tell us what time is Mohan Bhagwat supposed to arrive there, and also given the fact that in Haryana we have seen how RSS played a very crucial role. What are you observing when it comes to Maharashtra, the role of RSS in the Maharashtra elections?
Well, to begin with, Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, is already in the polling booth. He should be out within the next couple of minutes after having cast his vote. Remember, he came here at least 10 minutes before the voting really began. Because, you know, this is where the RSS headquarters really is. And this is a very, very important center as far as the BJP is really concerned. Because, you know, both, whether it's Devendra Fadnavis or whether it's Nitin Gadkari, both son of the soil, or their allegiance to the RSS, and of course have been part of the RSS from their very, very childhood as well. So the RSS contribution is extremely important as far as the BJP is really concerned. The Jan Sangh is, you know, what they date back to. And we've seen what they were able to do, you know, in Haryana. So even if sources are to be believed over here in Maharashtra, they're working overtime. Their basic agenda, you know, Sharon, is to in fact encourage people to go out and vote. That last ditch effort to, I mean, campaigning has shut about 24 to 48 hours ago, but the last bit of effort to in fact take people, you know, to the polling booth, that's exactly what the RSS specializes in. And, you know, the workers have been working overtime. I'm given to understand that they're working in not just the constituency of the BJP is very strong, but also the constituencies where the Mahayuti is, in fact, you know, contesting as well. So that's something which is going to be important to see. We'll see Mohan Bhagwat stepping out in a bit from now, and he'll probably be giving us a soundbite as well. But a very, very crucial election as far as Vidarbha on the whole is really concerned, given the fact that Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis is contesting from the Nagpur south-west seat as well. So that's something which is going to be very important to watch out for. We're just keeping our cameras waiting for Mr. Mohan Bhagwat to step out, and he's of course accompanied by the other RSS you know, office bearers as well. Any moment from now, Sharon, he should be out, and it will be important to see what his message really to the people of the country is, people of Maharashtra is concerned. And let's just see what message he gives to people of Maharashtra in terms of their importance to cast this particular vote, and whether he makes any other statement as well. That remains to be seen.
Absolutely, Payal. In fact, please stay with us. We'll keep coming back to you as and when Mohan Bhagwat will cast his vote and will come out. Let me now directly go across to Pallavi, who is in fact reporting from Baramati.
It will be decisive. There won't be votes for others. It will be this way or that way.
Even though there are 6 parties instead of 4, the choice before the voter is one of 2. Right. It's quite a binary choice. So it has to be either MVA or has to be Mahayuti.
I think we've got Pankaj Pankaja Munde with us. Pankaja ji, namaste. The numbers are just coming through.
Namaste.
The overall voter turnout is settling in. What's the situation on ground? What's your understanding?
Frankly, I've been traveling all over the state. I've been campaigning for a lot of assemblies. For me, I'm very, very sure the response we got while campaigning also, we are very sure that we will win with like proper margin. We will get. Can you hear me? Because I'm
Yes, I
traveling
can. Yeah, I know you're on the move, but we can hear you. We can hear you. No, compared to
I'm
June,
traveling
April, May, June, and abhi November, क्या फर्क पड़ा है? Is there a change in the situation on ground, and how has it changed? Because I know you got very emotional with what happened in your own constituency with the results at that time, and I was following it very carefully. But is there a shift? Is there a change in the mood on ground, and how?
Yeah, of course there is a change in the mood on the ground because I got emotional not because of the election results. I got emotional because of the suicides happened after my election result was declared. So I was very worried about the reaction from people. Then they were very disheartened. But now what I am seeing here, the fake narrative created in the parliamentary election is totally minimized. Like there is no basically presence of fake narrative. So people are understanding this kind of campaigning is done to gain votes, and they are now focusing on the development issues and what the schemes we have as a government from Maharashtra government and central government, we have delivered. So we only totally focused on that. And we are getting very, very good response.
Just getting our thoughts on the two exit pollsters who have come in so far, PMark and Matriz.
Sure.
Both PMark is giving about 137 to 157 to the Mahayuti. Matriz is given. It's the battle for the states. Polling has commenced and polling is over. Single phase in Maharashtra, two phases in Jharkhand, 288 assembly seats in Maharashtra, 81 overall in Jharkhand, 38 went to the ballot on the 20th of November in phase 2. As the dust settles, the exit pollsters are out. We bring you the mega poll of polls. I'm Anand Narasimhan, with me Zaka Jacob and an array of guests. But most importantly, before we get him on the magic wall, let's get you what the situation is so far. What are the pollsters saying? Who are they giving the edge? Whether they get it right or not, have they read the mind of the voter properly? We will get to know on the 23rd. But as of now, the exit pollsters are saying PMark says the mandate is with the NDA. Matriz says the mandate is with the NDA. Chanakya Strategy says the mandate is with the NDA. People's Pulse says the mandate is with the NDA. Bhaskar says the mandate is with the INDIA. And then at the bottom of it all, you have the Lok Shahi Marathi, which says ye phasega election. Phasega election is what they are saying. Halfway mark is 148. And the NDA has the edge in most of it, but there are one or two outliers. And Access My India says they will release their numbers a day later, that is on the 21st. So we will add that later on. But what's the Maharashtra poll of polls? The Maharashtra poll of polls, even at the bottom of your screen, says it's majority for the Mahayuti or the NDA. 151 is the projection, INDI Alliance 129, 8 for the others. So the number of independents coming down drastically. Nistula Hebar, Rohit Chandravarkar and Aman Sharma with us in the studio. We'll have our guests joining us remotely also. But Zaka Jacob, this is a big shift. I'll come to you on Maharashtra after we quickly get our viewers what happened in Jharkhand, what the pollsters are saying with respect to Jharkhand. Let's quickly look at Jharkhand. 41 is the halfway number. Matriz says NDA, JVC says NDA, People's Pulse says NDA. Access My India swings it the other way altogether and says 53 for the INDI Alliance. Hemant Soren led Jharkhand Mukti Morcha Congress Alliance there is coming back to power along with the RJD, is coming back to power with big numbers. That's the projection Axis My India has made. It's an outlier in its own sense. So the mega poll of polls brings it very close, makes it a dead heat because of the Axis My India numbers. Otherwise, the NDA confident Babulal Marandi, while speaking with us here at News 18, said 51 plus for the NDA. So the BJP plus the Ajsu coming in, will that make a difference? We'll have to wait and watch. Let's swing back to Maharashtra. We'll talk Jharkhand in a bit. Maharashtra is critical. The voter turnout numbers, Zaka Jacob, if the voter turnout are an indication, are you confident the mandate will be clear?
Yeah.
Loksahi Marathi is an outlier?
No, I think that's at least, the conventional wisdom of higher voter turnout, anti-incumbency, that's been broken. That myth has been broken because just Haryana had almost close to 70%. In fact, it was more than 70% voter turnout, and yet it was pro-incumbency. But one thing is very clear, that whenever there is a larger proportion of people who turn out to vote, then you have a decisive mandate. You won't get a hung assembly. And I think despite the fact that there are 6 parties this time as opposed to 4 last time, the choice is really binary. It's either Maha Vikas Aghadi or it is Mahayuti. And I go back to, the Lok Sabha and what the difference was between the Lok Sabha and now. If you convert the Lok Sabha results into assembly, it was much closer than what the Lok Sabha results would suggest. So look at the BJP 2024 leads, the Shinde Sena 2024 leads, and the NCP Ajit Pawar 2024 leads. It actually comes up to 124, right? That's not too far off from the majority mark, which is 144. Remember, that's about 20 seats short of 144. But in the Lok Sabha, in terms of sheer seats, it was 31 for the MVA and 17 for the Mahayuti. So almost twice the number there. Again, you go back and check the Congress leads. There you have the Congress leads, you have the Sena UBT leads, and you have the NCP Sharad Pawar leads. It's just 154. And that's just 9 seats above the majority mark of 145. So really, all that the BJP, the Mahayuti needed to do was to turn 1%, that the differential that was between the Mahayuti and the Maha Vikas Aghadi, 1% in the Lok Sabha, turn that 1% on its head. If they clawed back 2%, this whole thing would completely flip. And that is what we are seeing now, at least in the poll of polls number, that 2% clawback that they were able to do from the Lok Sabha to now, that seems to have worked. Other than one poll, I think out of the 6 or 7 polls that Anand just showed, one poll was showing that Maha Vikas Aghadi has the edge. 6 polls were showing the other way around. Generally, and Aman, you can weigh in on this. Again, I keep going back to Haryana because Haryana had a completely different picture. But generally, the thumb rule is the direction seems to be in one way.
Well, before you start speaking, I have to interrupt because somebody who is all important, fulcrum of Maharashtra politics, has spoken. So let's listen to what he has to say.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जब जब वोटिंग परसेंटेज बढ़ता है तो बीजेपी को ही उसका फ़ायदा होता है। तो मैं ऐसा मानता हूँ कि निश्चित रूप से ये जो बढ़ा हुआ वोटिंग परसेंटेज है, ये बीजेपी और हमारे अलायंस के लिए, महायुति के लिए ये फ़ायदा हमको देगा और इसका फ़ायदा हमको होगा। जेव्हा जेव्हा मतदानाची टक्केवारी वाढते त्यावेळी भाजपला फायदा होतो असं आपण नेहमीच बघितलेलं आहे। आताही चांगल्या प्रकारे वाढलेली आहे, त्यामुळे आमची जी महायुती आहे, महायुतीला याचा फायदा होईल।
Mahayuti will gain. Mumbai is about 54%. Rahul Shivshankar with us, Aman Sharma, Rahul Shivshankar, Rohit Chandrawalkar. All of you. Now, the man has spoken. What do you think? Take it away.
See, Anand, I think, as Zaka correctly put it, there was just a 0.4% vote difference between both the alliances when it came to the Lok Sabha elections. This projection which is coming, I think, almost matches with what is BJP's analysis of this election. BJP feels, number one, it will be the single largest party. It will be close to or either will hit the 3-figure mark. It will be either 100 plus or it will be very close to 100. BJP also feels that Shinde Sena will do very well. So will Sharad Pawar do well in the MVA. But they feel that Uddhav Thackeray is going to collapse in this election and the Congress strike rate is going to come down. So I think this analysis in a way ties up also with what the BJP's reading of this election is. Of course, we have to wait for 23rd to know exactly how it happens. But if this holds true, the BJP's campaign of consolidating the OBC vote would have worked. The BJP's campaign to also get a portion of the Dalit vote back in its favor, bus this Samvidhan Khatre Mein Hai campaign would have worked on the ground. So that I think is the BJP's reading. We'll wait for 23rd what happens, but that and Jharkhand, for example, if I just add a line more, the Jharkhand campaign of the BJP also, if BJP wins, obviously their infiltration campaign has worked. Soren's sympathy is gone. Especially the Santhal Pargana region is the key. There are 18 seats there. Only the Axis poll is giving 15 out of the 18 seats to JMM. So that means if Axis is true, that this whole infiltration campaign has been blown to smithereens by in the BJP camp. So BJP is very confident Santhal Pargana is going to make the government. If BJP wins it, the Pennsylvania of Jharkhand is Santhal Pargana and the Pennsylvania of Maharashtra is Vidarbha. So, you know, which way these two regions swing will determine the election, but I'll hold on to 23rd for what it's going to be like.
Well, we'll hold on to this line of yours and we'll see what happens with the Pennsylvania of Jharkhand and Pennsylvania of Maharashtra. Rohit, Rohit Nisula is also with us. Yes.
Yeah, two questions I have, looking at this, of course, if these numbers hold. We're talking about Vidarbha and we are saying since morning that Vidarbha and Marathwada will be the deciding factor. Now, these two regions have two huge issues. Vidarbha, agrarian crisis and farmers' distress. Marathwada, the Maratha agitation. Has that not worked for Mahavikas Aghadi is the big question that will be asked on 23rd if these numbers hold. So it's clear that, the BJP has been able to tide over two of the biggest challenges that the media wrote about, spoke about in the last 3-4 months. And I don't know how that happened.
You don't know?
I don't know how that happened in Marathwada and
He
Vidarbha.
did say he had questions at the beginning before he started speaking.
Obviously, just a second. Obviously, like I said earlier, the Hindutva card might have worked, but I don't see that working in place where farmers are in distress or the Maratha issue is there.
What about the women thing? You think the women thing would have compensated?
That might have worked. I think the women's the direct benefit transfer schemes might have worked, and also the Hindutva narrative that has worked in Western Maharashtra or Mumbai, Thane, Pune, all this region, because that's where also a lot of seats come from. I think that might
So I had a set of phone calls that I did after I left in the morning, and I was talking to a lot of people asking from political parties about how the polling went for them. They were all very worried about the levels of polling. That they expected more people to come out and vote and be a lot more enthusiastic, especially reacting to the campaign thing. But the BJP has been depending on, they're trying to kind of find out whether it's a larger number of women who have come out to vote, because they feel that if larger number of women have come out to vote, then they're definitely coming back to power. And from the beginning of this election, they've been kind of depending on two things. One, it can't be worse than what happened on June 4th. And if there is even a little bit of a clawback from there, then they're home. Because we were given a lot of examples, as you have already shown on the map. There was a very small difference on several assembly segments. And if you extrapolate it, they said like in a big Lok Sabha seat, if UBT or the MVA seats, there was a lot of minority consolidation that showed up in one assembly seat, with the rest of them not showing that much of it. So they said, okay, but in the assembly what happens is that is only one seat, and whatever happens, however much vote you get, that is only going to determine whether you win that one seat or not. The rest of the 4-5 assembly segments in that Lok Sabha will go to the Mahayuti.
This morning Rahul Shivshankar was trying to make the same point, and Zaka Jacob said you need some more coffee. But coming back to the same point, Rahul, we've got Swagata Shah of NCP, Ajit Pawar, Chetan Bhagat will be there, Rohan Gupta of the BJP with us, and Sushil Vyas of the Shiv Sena with us, the Dhanush Ban Shiv Sena. So Rahul, now, if there is a voter turnout, Rahul Shivshankar, of 54% in Mumbai, overall a 65% voter turnout, Devendra Fadnavis says more votes means advantage Mahayuti.
Anand, I just
You're asking me?
Yeah.
What's the question?
The last I believed you are Rahul Shivshankar. So
what's the question?
No, so what do you think is, are the exit poll trends going to hold? Do you believe the BJP is going to be able to claw back in Marathwada and Vidarbha?
If you look at the BJP number, seem to suggest that they're picking up 20 more seats from the last time. And I agree with Mr. Chandrakar. He seems to suggest, and he's probably right, that the BJP would really have had to transcend huge problems in Vidarbha. And from 15, they would have to sort of go up to about 25 there. That is gain of 10 seats. The Congress would have to come down by another 10. And in Marathwada, they would have to significantly improve their tally because they only had 8 seats out of 46. So If that is what the exit polls seem to suggest, then they must be right. But I really don't know on the ground if that is actually going to happen. Obviously, in Haryana, the BJP did very well against the Congress. So there are chances that that momentum, as they say, will carry through. But I don't know if these polls and I don't know what the vote shares in these polls are, because I saw one which seemed to, and that's the question
That was
I actually wanted
PMark
to,
actually had said 48%.
I actually wanted to come in back then, about 20 minutes back, because seemed to suggest that 48% is what the NDA seemed to be getting. 48%.
Yeah, this is Matriz. 48%. There you go. That's the number.
Is that Matriz?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 48% to 42%. I don't know what changed so much. I mean, 6% swing. Then the seats would have to be certainly, in the region of 200. A 6% swing would mean a decimation across the board of the others. There would be a wave.
No, but Matriz says 48%, Rahul, but it does not give the 200 seats. What it's saying is...
Well, that's what I'm saying. I find that odd because, if the tight less than a percent, had such a tight sort of election as the 2024 numbers projected onto assembly suggested, a 6% swing. The BJP is contesting the same number of seats.
Density of the
pretty much
leadership
everyone
will
is
increase.
contesting the same number of seats.
The difference in the leadership.
And Matriz is the poll, Rahul, which is giving BJP the upper mark of 100 plus.
That's right.
So
I find that a bit strange, because if they were contesting different number of seats, there was a much larger number of seats that the BJP was contesting, then okay, one can understand. But this shows that...
Could it be that the margin of victory in each of these seats would be greater? So the density of votes in each assembly constituency increases,
but
translates...
then that kind of, as I'm saying, that kind of a consolidation would not just happen in a few pockets, right? Especially if you sort of seem to have lost the favor of the voter in the last election just 4 months back. So something is amiss in that particular number.
Anand, I just want to make a small intervention here, which is that whatever numbers you are seeing, the political parties apparently are not taking it hugely seriously. They're all very scared there's going to be a hung assembly come 2023, and apparently 22 private aircrafts have already been booked. So chartered flights have been,
That's the number.
Yes,
that's the real number.
The
These
real
numbers are all, okay.
The real number
flexible.
is 22
The real number is the number of chartered
aircrafts
planes that have been booked.
That must be 40% of the total available chartered
Chetan
flights.
Bhagat is with us, Swagata Shah, Rohan Gupta and Sushil Vyas with us. Swagata Shah, starting with you, they are saying that in Baramati, Pallavi Ghosh was saying that people of Baramati believe 23 ke baad Ajit Pawar wapas aa rahe.
No,
So
no, no, sir.
how many...
Nothing
How many
of
flights
this
are
happened.
being, how many chartered aircrafts are being booked for Ajit Pawar faction?
No. Ajit Pawar sir is not going anywhere. Definitely he is coming and is going to win. In fact, he's going to win full-fledged, one-sided. Because it's not the first time he's been working in Baramati. It's almost like seven times he's been winning. You think Baramatikar don't know what he has done for them, and honestly speaking, he is a person who has worked on ground level in rural area. He's came up with a lot of vikas and development, and you can see now Baramati is.
So what is his strike rate going to be? Because is he going to be the weakest link in the Mahayuti, or will he come back and say, I deserve my spot here?
He will come back.
No, he will come back. No, he will come back is okay, but the number of seats that the NCP Sharad Pawar is fighting, what will be the strike rate? Will that be critical? Chetan Bhagat, we have 3 voices from the Mahayuti right now, so I'm going to first ask you and then go across to Rohan Gupta and Sushil Vyas. Yeah.
Well, like I said in your previous show, it's firstly exit polls are embarrassing track record recently. People have lost jobs because of that. Stock markets have been exploited because of that. But if it's showing an edge to the BJP or a close match, then it's what always happens will happen. The BJP will make the government. I think this is also a test of what is the Shiv Sena all about. I think this is a test of what is the Shiv Sena going to do from, let's say the UBT loses, what is their future in Mumbai? And even the other Shiv Sena, the Shinde Shiv Sena or whatever you want to call it, they are there only because of the BJP. Can they take on the BJP, for example? Supposing they can it operate on its own and build enough support? I think this is a chance for the BJP to come back and take hold of Maharashtra, which they probably think they should have. They should have never done that alliance with the Shiv Sena in the 2019 elections. And I think maybe they're going to get the benefit out of it. I'm just looking at the numbers, looking at the sentiment that Ladli Behna had done, looking at the slogan which became really catchy, Ek hai to safe hai. I think the BJP is coming back. I could have egg on my face. This could become the clip that is played 2 days from now, saying that look at this idiot. But
Chetan,
that's what it's
Chetan
pointing to.
Bhagat, you're not very off the mark. Look, now I'm going to say something that's probably going to be sounding politically heretical. See,
This is the clip that's going to go viral.
Yeah, maybe it should. Sharad Pawar factor. Now, let's just add a couple of caveats here. Okay. Yes, he's a very, very experienced politician. But look at the track record of some others who broke away from the Congress. Look where they ended up. Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister, on her own steam, grew much beyond the Congress party. You have Jagan, of course. You have in Kerala, Mr. Karunakaran. You've had several people who broke away from the Congress and did much better than the Congress, won the state for themselves. Sharad Pawar hasn't been able to do that. So, you have to look, great man, great legacy, this, that, the other. But the pan-Maharashtra appeal, electorally, I'm saying, is it there? He has gained a lot. He's done very well in conjunction with the Congress party. So, this caveat needs to be added. That look, yes,
I agree with you, Rahul.
He's a great backroom maneuver, fantastic, instincts for politics, great administrator. But does he have this pan-Maharashtra appeal that can carry the NCP or should have carried the NCP on its own into the Raj Bhavan as the part, into the secretariat, the Vidhan Sabha as the party that stands on its own? No, he hasn't been able to do that.
No, that's because his voter is concentrated. His voter is concentrated in a particular region. He's not.
Rahul, I agree with you, and it's a bit like Gavaskar and Virat Kohli mein fark hota hai, I mean, Gavaskar is very respected and everything, and then there's a certain kind of captain who wins you. Not recently, but there's certain kind of captains who win you matches.
Look, I'm just looking at it from a point. I don't know anything about cricket. I just know a little bit about politics, minute amount.
Sometimes you have a lot of respect, and there is no doubt that like Mr. Advani, let me just say, right? Highly respected, but when it comes to having what it takes to get past the victory mark, respect is not enough. You need the winning strategy. You need to connect to people. You need a winning message. You need to say that, okay, this guy says that I trust him. And there is only one man who has been able to do it in India, and he's the Prime Minister. I mean, that's the fact. No, I mean, there have been pockets of, like, sometimes people are upset with him and somebody else wins. But what is the message of the Shiv Sena? Of the Shiv Sena, UBT Shiv Sena? Why is it needed in Maharashtra? What is it doing for Maharashtra people? Like you said, what is Sharad Pawar NCP doing for Maharashtra people? Why should people vote for them? What will they do differently? Sure, many people are pointing out flaws in what the current administration is doing wrong. But then what is your plan? How are you going to make things better? Yeah, people are tired of inflation, unemployment, farmer distress. What's your plan? Very clear. And I think there is no one unifying slogan. There is no one unifying face. There is no... So it's always going to be a toss-up. It's always going to be this, maybe we'll win, maybe we'll not. Oh, this time we won. Oh, this time we didn't.
So somewhere...
These kind of assertions, they pinch because they go against the grain. What Chetan is saying, I mean, I laud him for sticking his neck out. I'm sort of saying something here, but look, I'm not being disrespectful to anybody. But you have to actually begin to ask yourself.
You look at the facts and say,
look, you just look at the facts.
Three decades, Sharad Pawar has been there. And,
absolutely.
And if he says that his
you have been the pillar, according to
Western
yourself,
Maharashtra,
around which secular politics seems to revolve. But you never became the pillar. You became one of the totems. There are several. So look.
So you're saying backroom strategist, yes, but if
great.
sphere of influence remains Western Maharashtra only.
What has always been said about Sharad Pawar? Kingmaker. King? I don't know.
King. So that's okay. Rohan Gupta put his hand up. Yes, Rohan Gupta. Then Sushilji coming to
Basically,
you.
I think the discussion what we are having, because we know that after Haryana, nobody is confident about any of the exit polls. So I think let's park it separately. But there's a major difference between what happened in Lok Sabha and what is happening in assembly elections. I think the opposition is completely short of the clear-cut narrative. In Lok Sabha, they had some successful narrative in terms of satasat, khatakhat guarantees. They have some narrative in form of reservation, Dalit votes, SC, ST, reservation, and all these things in name of Samvidhan and caste census. By the time, they got that success, by the time that Haryana election came, both these narratives were shattered. Why? The Dalit narrative, because of what happened to Kumari Shelja and the leaders there. So people never believe that hypocrisy. On one side, you are talking about SCs and a senior leader has been treated like this. And Congress never paid attention to that. They were overconfident that, okay, whatever happens, we are winning. People are very, very sensitive. They see what you are talking, whether you are following what you say or walk the talk. They follow it very, 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 very closely. Another thing is satasat patapat. We yesterday had debate on how this Himachal Bhavan is getting auctioned. So people see that whether you can trust these people or not. So these two central narratives, on basis of which they did well in Maharashtra, they did well in Haryana, both got shattered by the time this election came. On that counter, if you see that ek hai to safe hai, right? That narrative become the central narrative. And on the last day, if the Indi Gadbandhan leaders, they have to react to this narrative, it clearly shows as opposition
You know what
party,
somebody said in
completely
Maharashtra?
lost the narrative.
Batenge
That
to
is the basic
katenge,
thing.
batenge to katenge is playing out in the Mahayuti itself, and the BJP has done it. Bata bhi aur kata bhi.
अरे
अपने
किसी को बांटा नहीं काटा, एक है तो safe है।
महाराष्ट्र में पार्टीज को आपने ही बांटा और काटा. That's the
अरे
allegation,
आपका
रोहन.
देखने का
आपको पता है.
नजरिया ना बटेंगे ना कटेंगे, एक है तो सेफ है. My point here is
No.
when as
महाराष्ट्र में
opposition
देखिए बीजेपी के ऊपर यही आरोप है कि शिवसेना को बांटा काटा बीजेपी ने.
मैं इसका जवाब देना चाहूंगा.
और एनसीपी को भी बांटा काटा बीजेपी में.
मुझे
और
एक चीज
फिर जाके
बताइए,
आप कह रहे हो बटेंगे तो कटेंगे.
देखिए मुझे एक चीज बताइए, शिंदे हो या अजित पवार हो, are they forced? No, they decided themselves. If you are going against your ideology, and Shinde and that so many number of MLAs, they didn't feel that, okay, you are with your narrative or Vichardhara, they are against the party. What is wrong? I don't feel that, you can blame any party for that. You have to blame yourself why these things have happened. And people of Maharashtra, I don't believe the exit polls, but still, if you see the trend, people of Maharashtra, they don't find this narrative good. As an opposition party, there can be grassroots issues which opposition parties should have capitalized. They have completely failed on that. On last day, if you have to react to this ruling party's narrative of ek hai to safe hai, and that with Adani's photo, where your CM in Telangana takes 100 crores donation from Adani. So Telangana Adani is different, Maharashtra Adani is different. People won't trust that, So I think they have completely lost the narrative. After Haryana, they completely lost the confidence. And at the end of that, the narrative which is set by BJP, all opposition parties, they had to play around the narrative. And that is why they.
But I thought the narrative was set by Eknath Shinde ji with the Mukhyamantri Ladki Bahin Yojana, Sushil Vyas ji. यहाँ पर Rohan Gupta is saying narrative was set by the BJP.
अरे आप कटेंगे तो बटेंगे क्यों कर रहे हैं भाई साहब हमारे पीछे?
मैं तो टेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, मेरा काम टेस्ट कर रहा है. मैं तो मेरा काम कर रहा हूँ सुशील जी. देखिए 51 सीटें हैं. जाका जी का प्लॉटेड इट हियर ऑन द वॉल. 51 सीट्स हैं जहां पर आप और उबाटा आमने सामने हैं. वहां पर फैसला हो जाएगा कि शिवसेना कौन है.
आनंद जी, in the parliament election, the counting took place on 4 June.
जी.
There also 1 against 1 Shivsena, real Shivsena versus UBT Shivsena. You please compare the strike rate. Our strike rate when we were in direct contest against UBT was far better than UBT's strike rate. Overall also, our strike rate was better than UBT's strike rate. That is a part. Now, this election, we have fought for the performance. What we have done for the people of Maharashtra for last 2.5 years under the leadership of Eknath Rao Shinde, because there is no confusion. Present election, we are contesting against the leadership of Eknath Rao Shinde. That has been told to people of Maharashtra by everyone in Mahayuti, including BJP and Ajit Pawar. So we have fought under the able leadership of Eknath Rao Shinde, who is not Facebook Live CM. He is face-to-face, everywhere and anywhere available. And he is a common man's CM. So that has worked. So that narrative has gone into the mind of people of Maharashtra. And as you said, the popular scheme of Ladli benefits directly going to 2.4 crore our sisters. So that definitely will help us, and we are hopeful to get about 170 seats.
Well, to Eknath Shindeji's credit, today nobody will turn around and ask who is Eknath Shinde. And I think that is something that rankled his mind for a long time because
Any wise man in Maharashtra will not say that now.
No, nobody will ask that question. But you would agree that this is a critical election and it's not as clear as the exit polls predict. Do you agree to that? Do you agree, Sushilji, that it's not as close as it looks? Or it's not as clear as it looks? It's far closer.
With great respect to you, as I said, my last statement that we will not win less than 165 seats. We are comfortable majority. With comfortable majority, we are going to win this election and we'll form government again.
You know, last time in 2019 when BJP and United Shiv Sena fought together, we ended up with 162. So now you're saying you'll get more than that, but we'll see. Saturday is not too far away. But Rohit, yeah.
Just an input. Shinde's team is meeting some journalists right now in Mumbai, and the official or unofficial, whatever expectation they are giving is they'll get 170 seats, BJP 95, Eknath Shinde 55 and Ajit Pawar 20.
95. Can you say that again? Can you say that again?
Number, right?
Can you say that again? Once again, let's just get this clear. Yes.
Shinde's team is giving this number as their expectation. BJP 95, Shinde 55 and Ajit Pawar 20. That is total 170 seats for Mahayuti.
170. Right now, Sushil Vyas just now said, he said 165 seats. He just
but that's their assessment. It's not what we're going to get.
I'm just saying that's
their assessment.
That's their assessment.
Rashid Kidwai was here. Congress thinks the same thing. They'll get 170.
Remember what the Congress assessment was on Haryana?
He said 170. That's what he said.
Congress assessment was 170. 170 right now. Rashid Kidwai said Delhi Congress's assessment for Maharashtra MVA score will be 170. Now both sides.
Okay, so let's do the math. Let's do the regression analysis for 30 seconds. 95 seats means that you are getting about 62% strike rate, right? 95 of 100.
No, it's more than
BJP
is fighting 152 seats. So they get
95 out of 152 is about
two-thirds. 70% strike.
Yeah, so about 60. Yes, whatever. Yeah, so that's a huge strike rate.
No, and that also means that in the head-to-heads with the Congress, the BJP is doing well.
Yeah, so
because out of the 150
you're winning
seats,
2 out of 3.
70,
exactly, you're winning 2 out of 3. That would have to come at the cost of the Congress party, because you're fighting 70 against them straight out. So half of those numbers you're fighting straight against the Congress. So the Congress is predicted to implode. That's if you just go by the BJP number. The other two numbers that were brought
55 and 20.
55 and 20. So 55 out of
80.
80. So
no, it's not even 80. I think it's about 78, if I'm not mistaken.
It's just under 80.
Yeah.
So
5/8.
Yeah, exactly. So that is also a huge number.
Yeah.
I mean that
will come at the
there also.
No, 51 seats they are fighting directly against Zubata.
Right.
So that means they've got a bigger conversion rate against Zubata if these numbers hold.
That is also, Anand, the BJP's assessment that in this 76 direct contest with the Congress, they expect to win 2/3 of the seats. That is why BJP feel that strike rate will be higher. Shinde claiming 55, obviously Shinde camp will claim it will have a better strike rate than even the BJP. BJP says Mr. Shinde will do very well, but of course we'll have the best strike rate. So I think there is a unanimity in the BJP and the Shinde camp that both these parties will together in fact be above
almost
the majority
70%.
mark. That's almost their calculation.
That's an almost
even without Ajit
70%
Pawar,
strike rate.
they could cross the majority mark. That is the BJP and Shiv Sena's Shinde's assessment.
Let's just look at the
without
assembly
Ajit Pawar.
Without Ajit Pawar.
Yeah.
No, let's just look at the assembly. Without Ajit Pawar, because 150 seats without Ajit Pawar, not 20 seats to Ajit Pawar. So they have got the numbers irrespective of Ajit Pawar is there or not. But Ajit Pawar adds heft. But the assembly leads projection, the BJP was supposed to get in June how much? Because in 2019, I remember they got 104, right? Now they're predicted to get 95. Now,
78.
So they went down to 78. So they have come up a good about 17 seats up. 17 seats up. Rohan, will you take that compared to 2019? You're 9 seats down. But this is all BJP and Eknath Shinde's internal assessment. It's not something which is definite. I'm just putting that out very clearly. Let's look at this scenario. Rohan, will you take these numbers?
See, I feel that our assessment is very, very close to around 170, that internal assessment. And we expect that BJP will touch around 100. That is our expectation. And I think overall, if you see the trend of all, again, I don't want to go whether the exit polls are right and wrong. But if you see the range of seats which have been suggested, overall it matches our number. And if you see again, compare with even if you convert the Lok Sabha results into assembly seats, there also BJP is scoring heftily in terms of seats, around 25 seats. So I think that we are around 100 as far as BJP is concerned, and overall Mahayuti around 170
No,
plus.
20 seats for Ajit Pawar. Swagata Shah, will you take that? Because that's a less than 50% strike rate. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Less than.
Yeah. Less than 50% strike rate, but yeah.
I am very confident about BJP's number, which is around 100. But as far as other parties are concerned, I cannot say confidently. But as far as Mahayuti is concerned, we are above 170.
170, but that means if you say BJP is 100 and Eknath Shinde is saying that Shiv Sena is saying that they've got about 55, Ajit Pawar is about 20 seats. Swagata Shah?
I am saying above 170, right? So I'm
above
not saying
170. Okay. Above 170. अच्छा above 170. Swagata Shah.
So they're corrected, sir.
फिर भी
So
आप
it was
तीन
been corrected
आप तीनों
above 170. So
okay,
of course
okay. No,
we
but
will...
are you willing to take a less than 50% strike rate for the NCP Ajit Pawar?
No, sir. We are coming definitely above 50%. Definitely. That's for sure. Because in rural area, Ajit Dada Pawar, sir, has a good backing and a good hold. And the seats who are contesting, they have more strike rate and more winning chances there. Definitely there.
You believe that's the case. But
yes, I believe
but then
that.
things change dramatically.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
look,
sir.
change. If this number, these people are holding, predicting holds, then figuratively, in Maharashtra, politics completely will change. It'll be completely transformed. You'll have two parties that would have sort of proven themselves as the real Sena and the real NCP. That would have implications, even within the India alliance.
Just allow me to play, a counter advocate here. Rohit, if you look at this grid, and can we just focus on this, stay on this piece. Bhaskar. Now, it has its pulse and it has its presence in Maharashtra too. Now, Bhaskar and People's Pulse both, actually, let's look at the Bhaskar numbers. Can we look at Maharashtra and the Bhaskar numbers? Can you stay on these numbers, please? Thank you. Yeah. Now, in this, Bhaskar is looking at 20 to 25 seats. They are the only one for the others or the independent who predicted that. And they are giving INDI Alliance a clear 150 seats, a 10-seat gap between the two. Why would they put something like this? Is that a possibility, or are they just?
See, I think the point I keep repeating in every show is that the margin is going to be very low, just like Lok Sabha. In many seats, it's going to be low. In 37 seats in Western Maharashtra, there is going to be a Ajit Pawar versus Sharad Pawar fight, in which there are many independents and small parties like Swaraj Party of Chhatrapati Sambhajiraje and many others. They might just get 7,000 votes, 12,000 votes, or whatever, but they might change the balance totally. That makes it, even more unpredictable compared to some of the seats in Mumbai, let's say, or other places. In Mumbai, you have a similar kind of a role played by Raj Thackeray. Again, winning 35,000 seats, 20,000 seats, or whatever. That can again change the balance and go in favor of the Mahayuti. So I think, these numbers, I mean, anybody can give any numbers, but original prediction that we presented was that independents will get 25 to 30 seats, and it matches.
Correct.
But others are not really.
The reason why the Bhaskar number is a bit counterintuitive, and I'll tell you why. Generally, if the number of independents is higher, and they are the only ones who have a higher independent, then it will help the incumbent, because the independents cut the anti-incumbent vote, whereas they're actually saying that the Mahavikas Aghadi will win, the Mahayuti will lose, and yet the number of independents is the highest of all the polls. I think there's some
and also, if there is going to be a swing in terms of the vote share, if you look at the overall vote share, if there is an uptake compared to Lok Sabha, and if there is perhaps a swing of more than 2% or 3% either ways, then it will not be so close as it is looking. Then it has to be a clearer mandate. Anish Gawande is with us. Anish, the NDA is predicting 170 seats. The MVA is predicting 170 seats. We've just got an internal assessment that Rohit Chandravarkar put out from the Mahayuti, which says BJP 95, Eknath Shinde, Shiv Sena 55, and Ajit Pawar NCP, the Ghadi, gets 20. So that's how they got 170. That means technically BJP plus Eknath Shinde should get about 150 seats, and they are also comfortably pure majority. Thodi der pehle we got to know that Congress assessment is 170 seats for MVA. What is your assessment?
We don't believe in these assessments, and the only person who will probably be able to give you these assessments is Pawar Sahib himself. But what I can tell you is you've just come to the end of an incredibly long, 11-month long election campaign in Maharashtra, possibly the longest and most contentious election campaign in the history of the state and perhaps the country. The few things that I would point out over here are, one, that the turnout has not been significantly higher in this election than in the Lok Sabha or indeed than in the last assembly election. This means that all of these large claims that were made about the outsized impact of the schemes launched by the government over the last few months have not really sort of held water, right? That this has not been an incredibly higher turnout than you had seen otherwise, which means that this is a turnout game. And we believe that the Mahavikas Aghadi has the ability to get polling sort of voters to the polling booth better than the Mahayuti does. Now, the second thing is that you've seen a fairly low number of independents and smaller parties being given any seats in any of these exit polls. What this means is that the seats are divided between the two major alliance partners. And in this, the sort of margin of error will be very critical in determining whether or not these exit polls are accurate. And the silent voter who proved these exit polls wrong in the national elections will possibly be the silent voter who also proves these exit polls wrong come 23rd November. But as a spokesperson, I don't believe in the vice of predicting numbers, so I'm not going to do that on national television.
But Western Maharashtra for Sharad Pawar and for the NCP there, as far as the Tutari is concerned, how many? What is the performance? No, when I say what's the performance, because the strike rate is going to be critical, because there are direct fights. The UBT is in a direct fight on 51 seats. The Congress is in a direct fight with the BJP on 75 seats. You guys are in a direct fight too in a lot of seats. So that's going to be critical.
Strike rate is incredibly important. I think that's the priority for the NCP-SP. That's been a priority even in the Lok Sabha election. Every seat that we fought to win. And I think you'll see a reflection of that in the election results as well. I won't tell you the exact number of seats we'll get because that would be sort of presumptuous before the election results. But what I can tell you is that we'll have a very, very high strike rate. I was on another channel where they were seeing Satta Bazaar predictions, and they predict us as having the highest strike rate as well. So I'm hoping that those Satta Bazaar predictions come true and that we have those high strike rates.
Just give me a moment. We have